Wagwa. We technically only have 2 minutes to live. Breathing restarts the timer. Yeah, you already know what it does. Gang, baby. 4G Audio Podcast. You know what it does. I already said that. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
And we're the Basement Weirdos. Tonight we're joined with fucking... Is that what we say? Joined with? Or
Yeah.
Joined by.
Yeah.
We got Kin on the beat to my left, and to his left we got returning guest Dirty Laundry. You already know.
Yeah.
That's right. I actually forgot to say this, but I think Kin on the beat just signed with Platinum. Stay Platinum.
Yeah,
maybe?
I got a little partnership deal with Platinum, so I'm gonna be one of their beat makers for sure. So,
Hey.
and
that's dope.
let's get it done, man. Let's fucking go to the moon.
Fucking right. That was just last night, or what? That just happened last night.
No, that happened really Sunday. I came in here Sunday and spoke with Bully Zone. I brought him 14 beats and just like said, "Yo, man, like I want to work.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm hungry. I need this. I think the city needs this." Everybody needs this, man. Everybody needs a little bit of.
Man, you can never have too many beats. That's
Right,
for
man.
sure.
It's fucked, man.
Shit.
It's like I told Bully Zone yesterday too on our live on Instagram. I said, "Fuck, man, I produce more beats than I do on my own stool." You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man, like that's scary shit.
My
You know?
own stool.
Yeah, man. So
I like how you said that though. You know,
It's a good
you're
bar,
not,
man.
you're not
That's
about.
a
It's a
good
good
bar,
bar,
for your
eh, yeah.
freestyle.
You're not
Yeah,
about
that's
vulgar
right. I
human being.
produce more beats than my own stool.
Kin on the
Fuck.
beat.
That's right. That's right.
Hey.
If you don't know, now you know.
When you get paid, it's gonna be Kin on the beach.
Cheers, guys.
Kin on the
Kin on the
beat.
beach.
Cheers.
That's
Cheers.
what's up. Cheers, boys. Happy
Cheers to
Friday.
success.
Click. Shout out to
Right on.
Jonesy, the only one that wore the Putin review shirt this week.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier.
Well, last week we talked about like wearing
Yeah.
them all, and then I forgot. Today I was like, you know what? I'm wearing this. I don't think I've worn this in a while. I'm wearing it.
yeah.
There you go.
I
And
thought
then
the
as
exact
soon as I
same.
saw his today, I was like, shit. So by the way, go get your fucking Putin review shirt. Link in bio. Link in our description. But if you really want to know what it is, go to 4gaudiopodcast.com.
That's right.
the link
Alright.
tree will bring you to it all.
I had to get that in just because I was talking about the Putin review shirts.
Yeah.
I had to get it in. They're dope. They got a picture of a sexy man on there eating Putin. Fucking beard gang. Gang.
Beard
Sick.
gang.
So any motherfucking way, tell me what's going down, man.
Man, just
You've been working hard, obviously.
yeah.
Yeah. So when did you start this shit?
So man, I
I'm under the
started.
impression you like kind of new or like.
I started producing hip hop like really heavily. I'd say at the end of 2016.
Okay.
I started producing in mid 2016 around July.
Okay.
And
shit.
I started EDM, like that was because I used to DJ before.
Okay.
I started producing. I DJ for about 4 years, and then I wanted to start producing my own music.
Right.
So I started producing EDM. I was producing dubstep, and then I don't know, man. Just I guess the kind of people. I don't know. I don't want to talk shit. It's just like I find a hip hop community is just more welcoming,
Well,
and it's
right.
just more my lane. Like I've
Are you saying like over the EDM?
yeah.
Really?
Like for me, yeah,
I
like
find it-
EDM is nice. Like it's all love and stuff. It's just like kind of behind the scenes. Like I just
Okay. See,
Sound-
I'm not like right into EDM. I know a bunch of people who are, but like I only see it from the festival goer
Yeah,
side. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah. So
no,
it's
for sure.
different
Like
world,
it
I
has a
imagine.
nice facade. It's just like for me personally, and that's just completely subjective, right? Like,
Yeah.
My opinion does not. So for me, I just thought hip hop was more my lane, and then I started producing hip hop. Like
Yeah.
and I didn't start really releasing beats until 2019, man.
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah.
Okay. And Burrow and
Dude, I met Bully Zone like in January.
okay.
That's
Okay.
the
No.
first time I
these-
met, and I've heard about Bully Zone and Platinum Studio. Like it was in January.
These guys make shit happen, man.
Oh,
like 100%.
Obviously,
man,
I can see that. Yeah.
everything. Like even two men. Whenever they had the studio over at the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking. I was there. I was there actually with Moto. And I was there, but Moto was there, right?
Yeah.
And so he was there recording. I'm like, it's cool if I chill here, yeah, whatever. So we're all chilling and shit. And like, I don't know, he must have made like 3 songs or something while I was sitting there. But like, Motive himself he freestyles all his shit.
Yeah.
So he's like quick and easy to work with. But Twigs, man, anything like I recorded with him a couple times, and like I'm kind of like, fuck it, I'll get like nervous and shit, or
Yeah.
like not even so much that, but just like I I just find it hard to like do shit like that in front of other people. I guess nervous, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid saying it. But nervous. But the thing is that like, and the other thing too is like I'm not. As much as I'm like, oh, I'm prepared, I can do this whole song in one go. I'm so like, oh shit, and I'm fucking shit up. So I'm like kind of slow, but like Twigs made it like work so quick. So like himself, like so quick. But what I was getting at was whenever I was there with Motive, fucking by the end of it, man, we're all sitting there. Bully Zone finishes his tattoo. He comes in, and I'm sitting there like on my phone. And he's like, "Are you writing, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, fucking me and Motive are gonna do." We didn't end up doing it, but we were gonna do a song. Motive laid his verse, and then I was still writing mine.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Man," he's like, "This is a creative atmosphere, right?" I'm like, "Seriously, man, though." I'm like, I sit here for 2 hours, and I'm like, "Oh, let's make a song." Like, yeah,
man,
fucking
brings
right.
it right out of
And
you.
like I said, they say something and it happens. Like, look at this. This is fucking proof of it. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna move next door. Yeah, boom. Like it's happening. So my point is that you definitely join the right team.
Yeah, for sure.
For
man.
sure.
No, for sure. Now, the first time I came here with DL in January, we both came in and yeah, dude, like we're just talking and shit, and then Bully's on like kind of put us on the spot. He's like,
talking chill like a meeting, and then all within like 10 seconds, he's just like, "All right, did you bring it? Did you
Yeah.
bring any content? Did you write? Throw
Yeah.
it down now,
Oh.
now." And then it's like, "Did you bring another verse? Throw it down. That's it. Yo, get back in there. Push your ad-libs." He's like, he tried to tell me, "Yo, try to say it this way." I started doing the verse. I wasn't in the booth. He's like, "Nah, bro, in the booth." But pushes me out in the
Yeah.
fucking, get the fuck in there.
yeah, man. So like being
That song sounds the way it sounds when it gets released because of
Right.
his
Yeah.
push and his,
Yeah.
and his pressure.
yeah, and that was 3 hours. Like, you know, we got here, talked for about
3 hours and 8.
fuck what, half an hour, smoked like 7 backwoods to the face, and then we got in the booth, and well, he got in the booth, and I just mixed his part, mixed this part, and then
Okay.
Bully Zone recorded his, and man, it just goes to show that, you know, I impressed him, he impressed me too, because I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Right. So it was just
Got the best out of him.
absolutely.
Got the best.
Absolutely. Like when producers talk about studio magic, definitely that evening was a studio magic.
Yeah,
night. Oh
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
That's that vibe.
Fuck yeah,
You
man.
gotta have that
Fuck
vibe.
yeah. Studio magic's a real thing.
Oh, I believe it.
Absolutely, man. The right
It's a whole
environment
vibe,
and the
man,
right
yeah.
people, and like you say, magic happens, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're just stuck in the same place. We were talking about this earlier, right? Like when you've done a
Jonesy,
spot and
everybody.
You're like, you know, you're always in the same situation. You're not surrounded by creative people, or you're just on your own, or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you get into an environment where, you know,
Brings you out of your comfort zone. Everyone's
surrounded by creative people, like
yeah.
a
That's right,
atmosphere where
everybody's on the same
happening,
page.
You know,
Another thing,
like you
too-
said, it pulls it out of you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, yeah. Another thing too is I find it's like motivation too when you're like
That's it.
when like
Inspiration,
you're in
motivation.
a group of people and you see that like even say in the short term of like I just watched that guy like write this verse, create this verse, and then like go and spit it like in the same time frame and us sitting here, you know. So like you see the what do you call it, like the like the reward, or like you see that like
You see the
they
progress.
did it, like
Yeah.
like they did it, you know. So like I can do it, but if you surround yourself with a bunch of people who are like not trying to do it or do anything, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, then like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
so point is I guess it brings it out at you, but it's just that I what I'm saying is that it's like when you see their progress, you're like, oh yeah, okay, it's not worth nothing, like okay, I keep doing this, or
Exactly,
like do this
yeah.
extra thing or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
You see what it can. You
motivation,
see what
right?
it can.
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
You know, if you put in the work as well, right? Or even strive to be better
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
that.
Yo, we got Timinator in the chat. Saying what up?
that's what's
Terminator,
up. We
shout
got
out.
Bully in there as well.
IG live or YouTube live on myself on YouTube.
Timinator's a day one, fucking.
Oh yeah, big day one.
Shout out Timinator, shout out Bully Zone.
Mhm.
Bully Zone heard us pumping his tires there a little bit. It's funny, the other day me and him were on live on Instagram. Me and Bully, I mean, and your laptop just did
Oh
some
yeah,
shit.
it does that, eh?
We were on live. Excuse me. Fuck. We were talking about Aspects because I think he might be coming out west with us. And yeah, shout out Aspects. He's coming on the show in June.
Hopefully, yeah.
And late June. And point of that story is so we were talking
is
about
it?
Aspects, and we're talking about how how he's like got a good history and shit. Like he's like big, man. He was fucking he's signed with like a Wu Block thing, and like which is like Wu Tang, and then like Snow Goons and like a bunch of shit. And he's been like doing it for a minute, like he's been around for a while. But anyway, so we're saying all this shit, we're like pumping his tires and shit. A little while later, Aspect's like, "Oh shucks," in the chat.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit, he's fucking watching right now."
That's
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh shit. So same scenario. Shut up, Bully Zone.
Serious, sir.
Hey, man.
And he gives out to the community. Or I shouldn't say gives out, but he
Gives
definitely gives back. Yeah, he helped the
Creates
fucking
opportunities.
with that. With that
Amen,
city collab
man.
and shit. And not even that. Just like, hey man, come use my fucking back room in my studio or my tattoo shop to make a studio. You know, it's
Yeah.
like he just fucking
Amazing.
definitely
He
holds
just
it
wants to
down.
see the best in everyone, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's it.
That's right.
You can tell.
Yeah. He's a
That's
visionary,
not money to
definitely.
make money.
Yeah.
Even then, you know, you won't know people's full potentials if people are governed. Like, let's
That's
say,
it,
like, because it
man.
costs a lot to put everything out or do this and that. So you have a couple people in your corner,
Yeah.
and you make shit happen. It's a lot
That's
easier,
right.
especially with my mixing and mastering and shit like that. People I have behind the scenes, I don't. After so long, I can't say like I haven't gotten a break. At this point, it doesn't cost me much other than my visuals to drop music.
Yeah.
Then just catch up with my Spotify artists and Apple artists.
So
shit.
have you guys been working together for like a long time or like?
When
how
we
long?
met, man, and the day we met, we were down in LA's an old Cypher Gang member. Well, after Cypher Gang,
You're
had broken
down
up,
where?
At LA's, Young LA's. And
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. I thought you
I'm
said
not-
we're down in LA. I was like,
I can't cross. I can't cross that border.
yeah, same.
It's not because I have a record. I don't have a record or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah. So I'm a lick. We did I'm a lick. And I just threw out the hook and threw out a verse, and I just loved the way his beat snaps. And it wasn't until after that he even told me that he made that beat.
Right.
And I was just like, yo. And then I went home. I asked him, yo, the vibe was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, send me another pack. So I
Yeah.
did the I Ain't Playing No Games EP, which I collided as Volume 1, Volume 2 Deluxe. It's going to be 5 volumes, not with THC Beats with UK. It's going to be Volume 1 is him, Volume 2 is Kin on the beat.
Right.
So instead of making more work for myself, I just fucking tied those 4 or 5 songs, which I wrote in 8 fucking hours. Like, I came home after vibing, I was like, yo, and then I got home the next day, and he was like, you have an EP written. I'm like, I done. I just need to, you know, but my quality, my interface was garbage, and
Right.
I was in the middle of moving and dropping fucking log nose fucking reindeer and Mr. Pinocchio and all that bullshit. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, man. When I met DL at LA that night, man, it was just I didn't tell him like there was 4 or 5 beats that played that was all mine, obviously, and he was just fucking going at it. And I didn't say a single word, right? Then after, he's like, "Yo, man, those are sick beats." I'm like, yeah, man, those are my beats. And then that's when it just
Let them speak for themselves.
and the rest is history, man. You know, we did On God.
We did
Yeah,
On God.
dude.
Once we did like, and the guy like magic music, like fuck, man. And he puts it together, and after like an hour and a half, we had all of On God done, and the beat was made in front of me, and fucking
Damn.
I was like, I think something's good here. And then when we got to here, I was like, we were talking to Bully Zone just about his layout and what this was gonna become soon, and the pricing and this and that, and then we hit up If You're Real, and I was just like, yo, this is fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And I went out to Kins recently and did moonwalking, and I only do
Dope
it when it's
track.
good vibes. Yeah, really good track.
Yeah.
God bless that you know, whenever an artist puts out a good track or something like that.
What's the other one you sent me to? Is that out? Is that
If
out
You're
yet?
Real, no, If You're Real's
None
not
of them are
out.
out.
Moonwalking's not out. On God's the only one that's out. It's the only thing on DistroKid.
Okay.
Like I said, like I've been on.
I think you sent me On God and
Yeah, you sent a
Moonwalking.
couple.
Moonwalking. Yeah, I like Moonwalking. You know what,
Yeah.
man? The one thing I will say, like, without like releasing too much information, is that there's a bar in there that was like the easy bar that you could have chosen, but you still kind of said
Oh, I
it,
remember you
but
telling
you
me
took
about
it.
this.
You didn't take that direct spot, right? I'll tell you after. I don't want to
Yeah,
release the
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
but there's that one spot where I was just like, oh, he's gonna say this, and I'm like, no, he didn't. That was the obvious bar, and he
Yeah.
didn't take it.
Yeah.
But then you still say it after, but like it's like with elegance,
The
you know
way
what I
it's
mean? You're
structured.
like, I'm avoiding saying that like almost like obvious, like kind of like mid-grade bar to like further express myself or explain myself
I
after, you know what
remember
I
you
mean?
trying to
Yeah,
tell
I
me
think I
about
pointed
that,
I pointed out to you. Like I said, I won't fucking, but it's just the one I'll show you. It's probably actually obvious with the
That track
title of
was
the song, but
originally, out of all my planning, there was only 2 projects out of the first 2 volumes deluxe that will drop by the end of this year. That basically only gonna have 5 to 6 out of the 13 on each volumes that are gonna be released. The rest I'm gonna release as a full album,
Oh,
and then every week after that, I'll just release tracks that people haven't heard. Like I'm not trying to run
just
numbers on one
singles.
thing. I'm just trying to get it. Say okay, on to the next in a sense, you know. Even though there's lots of good fucking music
Right.
there.
Just stay consistent.
Yeah,
though,
like well, just because I owe it to Ottawa by now to fucking drop at least the album after so fucking long
Right.
and whatever. But Purge was a throw. I threw it at Bully Zone. Bully Zone's like, let's vibe before we decide on a track. That's where I was like, what the
Right.
fuck does that mean?
yeah.
But like I know what it means. It's just I didn't really understand until I did hit the stew, and it was stuff that was just coming like from scratch, and it was amazing in the end. You know what I mean? So
a
I
vibe.
understand his vibe for sure, and fucking and then yeah. So fucking I don't know. But anyways, it's like. Anyways, I got stumbled there for a sec.
But you said you used to do EDM though, so you were like a DJ and shit.
Yeah.
Or you just yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like perform and shit?
Yeah, the biggest gig that I performed at Barrymore's open for 3 times.
Okay.
The 2.
Do you know
He went
Average
by,
Zach?
No,
Average
he would've
Zach?
went
Or
by
no.
Affinity
Affinity?
with an A.
That fucking tells me something. Yeah, tells me something. Yeah, rings a bell.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying, oh, that tells me something. Oh, I know the people you hang out with. That tells me something. No, yeah, I see what you're saying. It rings a
I've
bell.
heard the name. I've
Yeah,
heard the
he's-
name.
Yeah, because he
I've seen the
performed
name
at
too, so-
Barrymore's and shit
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. No, but my biggest gig I opened like right before DJ Blend. I don't know if you guys know.
No.
Not
The guy that wears a fucking Chucky mask.
a Chucky mask.
Well, Chucky's kind of
I
like
didn't. No.
kind of like Chucky.
I
Like
know
when
a lot of them wear masks and stuff.
No, well,
but-
DJ Blend, like look him up,
helmets.
like DJ Blend and Blend with a 3 instead of an E. Dude,
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
fuck, man, this guy, like, what 2010.
So is that like what you listen to though? That's kind of what I was getting at
That
too.
was
So
that
you,
was
like,
my
came
that was
up-
my inspiration to start DJing back.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
So and I made it a goal that when I was gonna DJ, I was gonna open for that guy.
No
like
way.
right before, and like it just so like kind of like the whole Platinum Studio thing, you know, it
Yeah.
just kind of happened with effort. You know, like I put in the work, I put in the effort,
Secret.
and I wasn't expecting to get it, and it just kind of happened, right?
Yeah.
So man, I was forever grateful for that gig. It was fucking amazing. Like 1,000+ people, place was packed.
Yeah.
Barrymore's
Packed,
is
man.
a good
Dude, it
spot,
was a
man.
sold out show. It was literally a sold out show, and it was the most amazing gig. I had a video of that, like a montage on my old when I used to go by Caligo. That was my that meant darkness.
Okay,
in fucking
okay.
Latin. I don't know why I switched to that because I was Kin Norin, which is my name backward. So if everybody watching who's wondering where like what the fuck is Kin on the beat, like Kin is Nick but spelled backwards. So my name is Nick Neron, like Neron, but backwards that's Norin. So that was my DJ name, was Kin Norin. All right, then I switched to Caligo for some fucking I don't know why, man. I was probably high off something back in the day. I don't know, man. And I switched, but I had all the montage of that. I had made a sick montage of that.
Yeah.
It was wild. It's wild. It was so
Fuck
fun.
yeah, man.
So fun, man.
So then you listen to fucking EDM then.
Yeah,
Like
I
a-
used
like,
to. Now
that's where you-
less.
Yeah.
But
But then
that
you
was-
kind of switched over to fucking
yeah.
hip
Yeah,
hop
like-
and making hip hop beats and stuff.
Yeah, like in
Okay.
my mind, like when I started making hip hop after trying to do EDM, like I was learning something complicated, then got to something a little simpler.
Was
You know,
there,
in my book,
was
like
there like a catalyst that made you switch from one to the other?
Yeah, shoot.
What happened?
oh man, really, it was the biggest thing, like the trigger that made me switch, is that I had a fucking MacBook. I had a laptop, and back in the day, I didn't back up my shit. I was an idiot. I'd never backed my stuff. I had a ton of mixes. I had a ton of tracks like that I downloaded for my sets, and my laptop just fucking crashed. I lost everything. You know, I had over like 6,000 songs and
No.
you know a shit ton of good mixes and shit, and I lost everything. So at that point, and I and a little bit before that, I kind of started getting more into hip hop, like kind of wondering, like, am I in the right lane? Like, what's right for me? You know, do I want to go EDM? Do I want to go hip hop? Like, I've always liked hip hop since I was a kid. Used to listen to fucking, you know, D12, Eminem, 50 Cent, like
Yeah.
Mobb Deep, like
Oh, yeah.
all those kind of guys, right? Like that. And back in the early 2000s, and I just, when everything crashed, I just said, fuck it. But if I'm gonna start fresh, might as well start.
not?
Why not?
Yeah.
And then the rest is basically history up until now. So
There you are.
yeah.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's sick, man.
Yeah, man. Just it's
What a
just the
journey.
way that, it just goes to show that sometimes your initial plan doesn't go
Yeah.
like that, but
Yeah.
You find something else
yeah,
because of that. Right?
that's it. But you know, I'm not I'm not really religious. Like I don't go to church every Sunday, but
Right.
I do believe in God. You know,
What's
like
that called?
It's a higher.
Oh, like God, or do you
higher
believe in
being.
like something?
something. Like
Yeah, what's
God,
that called?
Like,
Agnostic.
Agnostic.
is
yeah.
that what it's called? Yeah, it's just I don't know. Like
Just
God,
something-
like who the fuck is God? Like it's not that big beardly white haired guy. Like you know, it's just a bigger energy, like a bigger
a higher
something.
being.
That's right. So I just believe that God is just gonna bring you where you need to be.
Right.
Right. So I guess that EDM scene wasn't where I needed to be.
Yeah.
So my laptop crashed. Everything, you know, everything sort of happened
yeah.
for me to make that transition, right?
Right.
True,
so
true.
you know, I don't regret it at all. Like you know, at first for the first couple months, I was like, "Fuck, am I doing the right choice, man?" I've
Right.
worked 5 years to get where I am in the
Yeah.
DJ scene, like and fuck it, you know, just start fresh. And I'm having more success in the hip hop scene compared
Yeah.
to the
Well, it's like,
EDM scene.
sometimes
Yeah,
you gotta try something to realize that's not the
exactly.
direction you want to go. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
That's
you
right.
gotta.
You gotta experience it, yeah.
In order
Yeah.
to realize, hey, this isn't for me. I gotta do this
Yeah.
instead.
That's
That's
right.
it. You gain experience.
That's
Yeah.
right, and it helped
You know?
discover myself too as a person.
Right.
You know, like
course.
majorly like discovering myself, like,
Yeah. Right.
and it's just part of the whole life.
whole process.
Yeah,
man.
whole
Trust the
process.
process.
Yeah, trust the process.
Trust the process.
That's right.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
That's sick though, yeah. 'Cause you're fine. I'm just thinking, well, no, because I'm still thinking about how like your computer crashed and shit, and then you lost all that shit. And then you,
It's like a big sign.
made
almost,
yeah,
right?
and
Yeah,
then you
that-
made
and-
the switch, and then things caught on with the switch. So you're like, hey, shit, like
That's
fuck
how
all
I
that
took
shit
it.
I lost. Like, yeah.
That's how I take it today. Like when it did happen, I was like, "Fuck, God hates me. Like I'm a fucking failure." You know, like what the,
Yeah.
you know, like this isn't meant for me. And it's just with perseverance and keep pushing on. You know, like
Yeah.
I believe in myself so much that nobody can fucking tell me shit.
Yeah,
You know, like
that's the attitude
a
you
big-
need.
Exactly, right? Because a lot of people, like, something like that would happen and they would lose all their shit and they're just like,
Fuck
fucking
it.
life hates me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck it. I'm just going to give up. Obviously, this wasn't meant to be. Whatever.
They'll be
That's right.
fucking
And then
50
go
years
do-
old being like, I used to DJ and then
yeah.
I just gave up.
But the
That's
fact that you
right.
didn't,
Yeah.
Like-
you might have switched lanes or whatever, but you know, at least you carried on doing
that's it.
like your passion. and
Exactly.
That's it,
Yeah.
exactly. And you know, and even looking back on that, like what you just said, like my biggest highlight in my life would have been like, oh, I opened for DJ
Right,
Blend.
right.
I didn't
Yeah.
headline a show. I didn't get a gold plaque. Like I didn't get a platinum fucking
Yeah.
plaque. I didn't get none of that.
You
It was just
achieved
I
the goal, man.
opened a gig. Like
Yeah.
to me, that you know that could be something big, like it was back in the day. But
Could open your eyes and be like, that was a goal I thought was unachievable. Achieved it
yeah,
pretty easy.
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
it really made
What
me.
more can I do?
It really made me realize that if I really want something and I put in the right amount of effort and more, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just there's no other way. Like if I don't get it, it's because I fucked up somewhere.
And then you just learn from that. man.
Exact, and you keep moving on.
Mistakes
Man.
That's
are
just
just
it.
right.
experience.
Well,
Like,
even,
never
it's
give up,
lessons,
man.
right? And that's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say earlier. Was like what this sort of same thing came up, like just literally like within the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. I just couldn't find the words. Was that you learn the lesson from it? You know what I mean? Like it's like so like mistakes, you learn lessons. So not that that was a mistake, but it's like you now learned the lesson of like, hey, maybe I was in the wrong lane,
That's it.
and like now I'm here. So it's like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess I'm just reiterating what you just said.
No, man.
But
for,
yeah,
no,
exactly,
for
yeah.
real, it's true, man.
It's down to the secret, man. You know what I
Oh,
mean? It's
totally,
the-
yeah, I just-
the law of
I showed him.
attraction.
Have you ever seen the
Yeah.
movie The Secret?
No,
Do you have
It's like
Netflix?
a
No, I didn't see
documentary
it.
Do you,
No.
have, do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I do.
Watch it.
Yeah?
Type in The Secret, man. I'll fucking my phone's dead, but I will send it to you on Instagram.
Okay.
Or if you think of it, ask me. But man, the movie The Secret, it's on Netflix
worth
right
the
now.
watch.
I gave
Cool.
him
Everybody.
the fucking DVD that I had,
Yeah. watch
and
the
then I
old
looked and I
school
found it on
fucking 90s
Netflix,
DVD.
and
oh yeah.
and Jonesy's seen it. Yeah.
That's right.
And man, it's all about like fucking. We won't get into it too much, but it's all about basically like what you think about, you bring about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like as positive as you can think about things, like you can bring whatever you want. You want a coffee right now? If you really think about it, there's probably a way that you can get a coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is like sometimes it takes that little bit of work. And you said that earlier. You said with a little bit of work, you know, you're like I got there. And that's the thing is, it's not just like hope for it to happen and then it happens. You gotta put the work in. Like the one guy in The Secret, he sells his book. He's like, I want to sell my book for $100,000 or something, or $1 million or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
something like that.
and in a year or something, right? So, you know, he put in the work. He fucking like promoted his book or did whatever he had to do, you know? So he did all the work and whatever, and he got there. But in a year, he fucking got a check for whatever it was, 100 grand or $1 million or whatever, a publishing deal or whatever, right? So he was like, holy shit. He's like, I fucking, like made it happen.
Yeah.
But like, again, he still realized, yeah, I still have to put in the work. It's not just fucking wish it and it
he
comes
didn't
true. He
realize
still
that,
had
like, I'm owed this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the attitude you
Yeah.
just can't have.
But point is like I said, I'll
Yeah.
send it to you. Fucking watch it,
Be
man.
grateful.
Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, being grateful is the biggest thing, man.
Oh, yeah.
Wake up in the morning, be grateful, man.
Dude.
Thankful for everything and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking this one dude. Well, okay, I'll just send you the movie. Watch the
Yeah.
movie. You
But
guys
dude,
watch the movie too if you have
everybody-
Netflix. But
everybody,
it's
yeah.
all about like that type
Yeah.
of shit. It's like set this goal, figure out what needs to be done,
Yeah.
and like that's just like obvious like physics or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's just how
When you
things
hear
work.
it,
Yeah.
But
it
at the
seems
same
simple,
time,
man,
you
but-
just keep thinking about it and you keep
Yeah.
like it's coming.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I
an
mean?
energy
Like-
you put out constantly.
Every morning I do 10 minutes of meditation slash
That's
like manifestation.
great.
And manifestation, like Jim Carrey
That's
said.
what it is.
basically
That's
the
it.
same
Jim
thing.
Carrey.
Jim
said that.
Carrey said, like Jim Carrey, when before he got famous, he wrote himself a check of $1
$10
million,
million?
Yeah.
10 million, 10
Yeah.
million,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or a
that's
million,
right.
something like
Well,
that.
it was 10 million. You know what he would
Yeah.
do though? Sorry to cut you off, but you know what he would do, man? Is he would drive his friends
Yeah.
to fucking like to like movie premieres and shit like that. And he would drive them up to the movie premiere, drop them off. He'd park down the street and he'd watch all the people come in the red carpet, and he would pretend that he was there, and there was like producers and
Yeah.
directors and shit being like, good job
Yeah.
to him. And then yeah, he wrote that fucking check.
Dude.
Sorry, and then you can I can do-
Manifestation goes a long way, and it's
Well-
not about like being full of yourself. It's just,
And
you
he-
know,
How to use it
He
properly.
didn't
Yeah.
even remember that he wrote that check. He was sitting. He wrote it for Thanksgiving, '93 or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
And whenever he fucking sorry, I hijacked your story, but he
No,
was
but-
sitting
yeah.
there that Thanksgiving. He's like, wait a sec. He's like, this is the Thanksgiving. Like, he's like, oh yeah, that check, right? So he pulled it out of his wallet. He looked at it, $10 million. He had just signed a deal for Dumb and Dumber for $10 million.
yeah, man. So it's just, if you believe yourself enough, and a combination of the vision, the work,
Yeah.
and the networking, and just being authentic as a human being, you know, like you can
That goes
have
a long way, man.
you can have skills, you can have vision, you can have everything, but if you're a shitty human being,
Nobody wants to work.
nobody
with
wants to
shitty
work with you.
human
No.
Nobody wants to work with you,
You have a
right?
shitty
like
song
I
and
saw-
be an awesome human, and I'll hype you the fuck up. You know?
I saw a thing the other day. It was like, don't be impressed by like money, like fancy job and like fancy shit, you know, all this stuff. Don't be impressed by this like monetary success or whatever, right? And then underneath it's like be impressed by like loyalty and honesty and like all this shit. I was like, yo, fuck, man. I'm like, at least I got something, right?
Yeah, man, dude, for real. Like, you know, without having loyal people around you, and like you never, you know, like somebody told me once, like I will judge you by looking at your 5 closest friends, you know, and it makes
You
sense.
shouldn't judge anybody, but at the same time, I do feel
make
like
some sort of
that
analogy.
can
Yeah, like,
that
maybe it's
that
not the
can
right
help.
word.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm just saying. I'm just kind of covering my own ass. I'm not condoning judging, but if you were to judge, that would be a good way to judge.
Yeah, man. That's
Because they say too is you're like there's a bunch of things like this. Like there's like
Hey, baby
you're only
girl.
as smart as your 5 best friends, or you're only
there's one that I like, it's like,
successful or something.
if you hang out with 10 broke people or 10 assholes, you're likely to be the 11th.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
hang out with like
Yeah.
10 millionaires or 10 like good people,
You gotta be the
you're
11th,
likely
yeah.
to be the 11th, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, okay, that's a good way. Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
a way
it's
to
like
say
you,
it.
you emulate the people that you surround yourself with.
That's
Totally,
right.
yeah. And like even too, like sometimes people say like to like this might sound like rude, but and I don't know how to say it, but like you can like better your well, I guess that's just general knowledge. You better yourself by the people you hang out with and shit. So you could even like you should be the dumbest person in your group of friends because you're gonna learn that shit from them, right? And then once you become the smartest group in that, or the smartest person in that group of friends, you're like, not saying like, and that's why I say it sounds rude. Like you don't like move on to the next group of friends, but say you acquire the like whatever, challenge yourself, right? So like put yourself in the midst of people that are fucking more intelligent than you and you can learn from them, right?
Yeah, because you don't know
And
everything.
I constantly find myself, man, like, well, like you or like Gord or like my buddy I was with last night. Shout out Bridgen.
Press the button at the top of the door.
Was like very. I'm like, they say something like last night. My buddy said a word, and I'm just like, and I said the word. I can't remember what the word was, but I said it back to him as a question. So I'm like, this, like, and he's like, yeah. And I guess he thought I was asking like, did you say this word? And I was like, no, like, and I said it again. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no, what I'm asking is like, can you define that word for me? And he's like, oh, it just like works less now or whatever the word, or it's like, it's weaker now or whatever, right?
Help if you knew the word.
And like, yeah, that's just it. Well, yeah, true. But I'm like, he's like, it means that it's like not as strong now or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, thank you. But that's my point is that, I guess it didn't work, but like this fucking smarter dude, like one of my buddies, whatever, says the smart words. I'm like, hey, like, what's that? That's a super small example. But point is that you pick up these things, right? Or even like I said, hanging out with fucking Holy Zone and fucking Twigs and shit like that. You like, you soak up their fucking like,
you're gaining-
drive.
you're
they're
gaining,
like, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just taking the long way to explain like little things.
Yeah.
Who's got a lighter kicking around?
I was just gonna say, can we smoke in here?
Yeah.
I wish.
Unfortunately
Shit.
not.
Here, man.
Nice.
It's just the thing we're missing.
Oh,
you
almost
know?
had it.
Yeah. Oh, I meant cigarettes, but
Oh wow.
Right.
If you were lighting up a cig, I was lighting up a joint. So.
oh, for sure. Yeah. I do have a nice backwood. We can all smoke after this too.
There we go. Good.
What's in the
Like
backwood?
the third or fourth
You don't know?
No,
Smoke
I'm
three
good.
before
Champagne
we
gas.
shot.
You want some of
You
that?
got- Still got that champagne gas, eh?
Yeah, champagne
she's
gas.
gnarly.
It's the fire. Man, I saw this thing the other day, earlier today. So there's a gas shortage in the States somewhere or whatever.
Yeah.
And this guy,
Somewhere,
this
whatever,
guy,
yeah.
well, this guy said, well, I'm just kind of skipping over
No,
it just
I
to
know,
give my,
yeah.
But what it was the guy, it's like some kind of meme or whatever. And it's like, yo, I heard there was a gas shortage, so I went out and bought a zip or whatever. And it's like, I didn't know what they meant or something like that. I'm like, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but there's people like putting that shit. I saw a chick putting it in a fucking laundry hamper.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
A laundry hamper. There was a
I s-
guy with the fucking the Tupperwares
A
in a bunch of
bunch of them,
Tupperwares.
eh? Yeah.
But like when you go, it would like splash all out of the
Everywhere,
Tupperware. So
yeah.
there's like this much in the bottom of the Tupperware,
And then
like
just
all
puddles
over.
everywhere.
Yeah.
People
Like-
are fucking dumb.
Well, and those
man.
Tupperware are gonna melt away, man. Like or
Yeah.
the bags,
Gas
garbage
Eat
bags
right
and
through
shit.
that shit. Like,
Jesus.
And we
I saw
took-
someone like it was in like I guess they were a little
Sure.
smarter about it. They had like 20 fucking jerry cans and they were just
That's
loading
what
them
you
up
do.
and like
Yeah.
sticking it in the back of their trunk.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a temporary thing. Like it's not like next week the whole of the US is gonna be like out of gas.
You're gonna
know?
be all right.
Yeah.
Like,
even right now, man.
Oh, but
I'm
still.
like, what's going on with gas?
Yeah.
I
Like,
was just gonna say
it's
go for a drive and get
springtime,
some
man,
gas, but
like,
I guess
it usually drops right now, and it's been
It's going up.
going up,
yeah.
and apparently, from what I hear, it's gonna stay like that.
buy stocks
so,
and gas.
Yeah, if you can,
Yeah,
go
buy-
for it. Of course.
If you can't sell it, fucking
Yeah.
stake it or whatever.
Can't
Or,
beat
I don't
'em,
know.
join
It's
'em.
the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah. Fucking
Shit.
wild.
I don't know, man. I think it's like the same thing that happened at the beginning of COVID, when like a bunch of dumb people were just hoarding toilet paper.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
someone said that like
dude,
last
for
year was
real.
toilet paper.
I have
this year
to
it's
say
gas.
though, like
Gas is far more
it
important.
can go way farther.
Oh,
Yeah, like
fuck.
yeah,
man.
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I would rather I'd rather a gallon of gas than fucking
Yeah.
3 big fucking
Yeah.
60 rolls of fucking
You never know what
toilet
these
paper.
people could
Fuck
use.
that.
It could be used to fucking fuel tools, their vehicles.
Oh, you
like
could start a little
gas,
fire?
man.
Jeez.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw such a conspiracy theorist though, like because it was like this pipeline got hacked, right? So they turned.
I
off
heard
this-
about this.
So,
Yeah,
like that's the reason for the shortage.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because this gas line got hacked, and there's
some like $5 million they took out. Well, like probably has nothing what you're gonna say. Sorry,
I don't
I
know.
heard the hackers like obtained money from it though.
So it's ransomware. I think
Yeah.
I haven't done too much research into it, but it's like ransomware. So it's like if you give this, we'll turn your pipeline
Yeah.
back on. Or
Right.
something.
My buddy
Right,
was saying
right.
last
Like
night the
blackmail,
company he worked for,
basically.
a guy did that. And he fucking came here from China and he worked on this fucking, it was like all like computer shit. and he worked on this like software or whatever, and then he fucking left one day. And everyone's
Just
like, hey,
gone.
like, can't get into my computer, like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, is he playing a joke on you? He's like, no, man. He's like, fucking took all the information and left. He's like, he fucking,
Crazy.
and then we couldn't get into the computer. But that's what it was
Intense.
fucking, he ended up talking to these guys and he had to go on like the dark web and shit and
Right.
fucking whatever. And they were like trying to get money out of him and shit. He said he acted retarded. Like he was, sorry, not, he just
You're gonna get
acted
us
dumb.
canceled.
He was putting, he was like spelling words wrong and stuff like that.
That was
And,
actually
like,
very
and
quick.
He was like, I can't, he's like, oh, I can't really afford that and stuff. And he like basically talked them down to the point where they like gave him the thing for free. But he thinks that the people that were telling him how to do it weren't part of the scam. They were like just people helping him get the shit. But sorry, I totally cut off your story.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but that's
I
like
was
same
just saying,
idea.
I
Like
think it's some sort of fucking weird inside job. Like I
Yeah.
don't like. It's not like your random fucking nerd. You know what I mean? That has the ability to hack into one of these major pipelines.
Right,
And like,
yeah.
it's to me, it's
And
like
there's-
Yeah.
there's a fucking plan.
and I
to-
imagine they're not
yeah.
running it on a fucking home computer
right,
that
I
you
think
can
this is
hack
definitely
into.
some
Like
sort of
yeah.
planned event to
Yeah.
like justify something, some other big.
Them-
Oh,
I don't know
man.
what it is,
Well,
but like
people have been protesting the
a game
pipelines
going on.
for so long. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So it might
Anyways.
have something to do with that.
enough about the fucking
Yeah.
gas shortage. We'll see what happens in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll send them some gas.
Yeah.
You got.
That's
your
like
fair share.
in your live the other day. You're like, yeah, we got a noise complaint and a loud complaint,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were like, you just said the same thing twice, but the loud was like a
I
reference.
totally
to,
didn't get that until
a
you were
reference to
telling
the
your
weed,
story.
right?
Yeah.
But you know where that comes from actually is there's a line from it's like this is gonna be like a weird group of fucking people to confuse. It's either Danny Brown, Chance the Rapper, or Kendrick Lamar. But they say some, and it could be neither of those guys. But they say something about like
They all
the neighbors.
have, unique voices. I would
True,
say.
yeah, oh,
when
true,
they
yeah,
rap.
yeah. But it's something about the neighbors like came and knocked on the door and said, "Can you keep it down?" And he's
Mm.
but something about like, "Oh, but we're not playing music," or something like that, or like, "Oh, the music's low," or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, that weed, it's too loud."
I think that's Chance the Rapper.
Is
I want
it?
to say it was Chance
Yeah.
the Rapper.
If my fucking phone was on, I'd Googly it. But
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was something like that.
Hey,
But I just
Siri.
remember that always stuck in my head, and I was just like, I love that. So then I'd make the noise and loud complaint. But
Yeah.
speaking of that, though, tell you guys a story.
I like
So
stories.
got a fucking hotel room. It's like a little condo thing or whatever, out at this Calbogie Peaks, the ski hill and shit. Yeah, and fucking so I went out there. So me and Bully go there after the fucking after the podcast. This is like 2 weeks ago today. So we go out there after the podcast. Now it's like fucking like 1:30 in the morning or 1 in the morning. We actually went through a roadblock, and we're like in the middle of nowhere. We go through a roadblock, and the cops are like passing his ID around, and they're all like looking at it and shit. And they're like, we gotta wait. Like there's something wrong with our walkie-talkies and shit. So they're like making us hang out and shit. I'm like, oh man, like what's going on? But anyways, short story long. Fucking. So we go there. We roll up a blunt. We're smoking this blunt. Like I said, it's like 1:30, whatever. And he's on live with Yardy. Shout out Yardy. Go check out Live on the Live
So
at
Yardy.
midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight every night. But anyway, so he's on the live, and so we're out front of this fucking building smoking this blunt. There's a bunch of like little apartments in this, or not apartments, but like hotels and shit, like in this one building. So we're smoking this shit, and like we're kind of being loud and shit. And I hear this noise, like the fucking like someone slamming the window shut type thing.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? So I look up top, and there's like, it's like the windows that like butterfly like this. You gotta like crank them, right? So I'm like, okay, they obviously didn't slam the window.
Yeah.
We're fine, but I'm like, at the same time, they can probably hear us, and that's the bedroom. They can probably smell us and shit. So I'm like, whatever. So we finish up, we go inside. So then later on, we're sitting there smoking a joint. We go outside, smoke a joint, and I'm like, man, it's fucking freezing and shit. I'm like, fucking so cold. I'm like, let's go inside, man. So we go inside. So we're sitting inside. We're smoking joints and shit. Like we smoked a couple joints inside. Fucking. So then the next day, fucking Bully's on leaves. Actually, while I was out there too, so I fucking had like visit with my son and shit.
Yeah.
So we hung out and we went and we walked up the mountain and shit and did a bunch of shit. But anyway, so then we went back and we're chilling. We're waiting for like his stepdad to pick him up. So we're sitting there and he's playing on my phone and shit. He's like, "Oh, someone's calling you." And I was like, "Oh, it's 1-800. Who cares? Like, keep doing your thing." So I'm like, "Fuck." A little while later, there's a knock on the door, and I'm like, "Oh, 1-800 number." I'm like, knock on the door. I'm like, "It's the hotel." So I go to the door, and he's like, "Hey, man." He's kind of trying to look past me and shit. And I have all the windows open, and we've aired it out and shit. Everything's good. I don't smell it, whatever. So we're sitting there and fucking.
It's all good. It's all good.
So we're chilling. He comes up. He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "We got a noise complaint, this and that." I say, "Yo," I'm like, "Okay, here's the thing." I'm like, "So we were on a fucking FaceTime with the guy. We were standing out front here on the front porch and shit." And I'm like, "I did notice like their windows are open and shit, right?" So I'm like, "Yeah, sorry." And he's like, "Well, also too, like, you know, they said they smell weed and stuff, right?" And then upstairs there was like the grandparents, the parents, and the children or whatever, right? So I'm like, "Oh shit, you know, whatever. Okay, yeah, I get it." I'm like, "Cool, man. Yeah, don't worry, whatever." And he's like, "You can't smoke in the units." And I'm like, "I know that." I'm like, "That's why we were smoking outside."
Yeah.
And like, that's why we were loud outside, was because we were smoking outside. And he's like, "Okay, all right." So he leaves. I'm like, "Okay, cool." So anyways, later on, Yardy shows up. Me and Yardy, shout out Yardy, gang gang. So we're chilling, and we ended up hitting the store. Actually, at the store, I called them. They said they close in 1 minute, but we'll wait for you. So we went there. Anyways, so we're coming back. I'm smoking this blunt. We get to the building, and Yardy has like a half blunt, and I like not lit, and I have mine like lit, smoking it. And I'm like, "Let's just run through the building, and we'll fucking smoke at the back, right?" So we're smoking at the back. And like, he didn't even have enough time to light his. And he's like, "Oh yeah, about the neighbors and shit." He's like, "We'll fucking go for a walk and shit if they say anything." So the neighbor literally like right away comes out, and I look up, I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I don't want to be that guy, whatever." And he was cool about it. He's like, "I just want to like tell you, and like we'll talk to each other, you know."
Yeah.
Still being the guy.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
like
it.
half the guy.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm only gonna be a half.
But I'm like, "Okay, man, I get it." I'm like, "We'll go for a walk. It's stinky and shit. Yeah, we'll go for a walk, man. It's all good. Don't worry." So then, oh yeah, whenever we went to the store, we picked up an onion, right? You cook the onion in the morning so you can't smell the fucking smoke and shit.
Oh shit.
So I'm like, "Yeah, let's get it. Let's do it, right?" So then now, every once in a while, we would go out and we would go and smoke a joint, or we'd smoke a cigarette or whatever out in the parking lot, so that if anyone looked out, they'd see us smoking, right? But we were in there, that motherfucker, like all of us smoking our own blunt and shit. We had the windows closed and shit, all smoking our own blunt. Go to bed that night. We were on the live and shit for like 4 hours and shit, like smoking. I go to bed that night. I'm like, "Man, I can smell the weed and shit in here." And like, I have my like room closed and shit. I'm like, "Man, I can smell it in here." Like, fuck. So I'm like, "Okay." So I told everyone, like, "Don't open the door, right? If they knock on the door, don't open the door." So the guy fucking knocks on the door in the morning. Like, I just woke up and kind of rolled around. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back to sleep." Knocks on the door. I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Whatever." No one's answering the door. He opens the door, which I found out is not legal. Which actually I shouldn't say I found out. I knew before because I talked to my lawyer that night. He was like, "So can we smoke in here, bro?" But anyway, so then he opens the door. He's like, "Wake up!" So then I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then I hear Yardy run across the fucking room, and he's like, "Yo, man," he's like, "You can't come in here, whatever, blah blah blah, this and that." And the guy's like, "Oh, he's smoking and well, this, blah blah blah, whatever." He's like, "No one's smoking in here." He's like, "There's 2 people in here. We're fucking sleeping." He's like, "No." He's like, "Well, he didn't say fucking." But he's like, "We're sleeping." He's like, "No one's smoking." He's like, "That's it. Like, it's over. See you later." Closes the door, locks it, goes back to bed. So I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to like go back to bed comfortably and find out they come back and like fucking like yell at us or like whatever's going on, you know?" So then I go take a shower and shit. I'm like, "All right, yeah." I'm like, "We better get this like breakfast shit on the go," because we had bacon and shit, right? So you burn some toast, you cook some bacon, you burn some onions, you make some coffee. It's over, right? So we were doing all this shit, and Yardy's walking around with the pan and shit, like the smoke with the onions and shit going everywhere. And Bully Zone had like his fucking room was actually like another whole like hotel room that had like a little entrance in our room, like a adjoining room. Fucking Bully Zone comes over. He goes, "Man," he's like, "I was in the shower." He's like, "All of a sudden I could just smell onions and shit." He's like, "I knew you guys were at it." So then he's like, "Man, but if I could smell onions," he's like, "That's probably why they could smell the weed, 'cause it's like going all through the fucking building and shit, right?" So we're like, "Oh shit, that's right, yeah." Anyways, Yardy leaves that day. Me and Bully go and do some shit. We're gone for like 2 hours or some shit. Come back, we roll a joint. We go out to the parking lot and smoke this joint. We come back, dude knocks on the door. I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" So I go to the door. I'm like, "What's going on, man?" He's like, hey, yeah, man, whatever. Yeah, he's like, we got this. They're complaining about smell of smoke and stuff. I said, dude, I'm like, we've been gone for 2 hours. I'm like, then we came back and we smoked in the fucking parking lot. So I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, I talked to him last night. I said that we would go outside, we can go for a walk, blah, blah, blah. We did. And he's like, he's going like this. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, he's like, may I? And I'm like, come in. I'm like, yeah, come in.
Yeah.
He pulls his mask down. He's like, there's nothing.
Fuck.
Like, points at the door to go into the other room, and I'm like, yeah, go in there. He goes in, smells around, smells in the washroom. He's like, one more thing. And he goes and smells in like the closet by the front door and shit. Comes back out. He walks into he's like, can I go into there's like a living room, kitchen area.
Yeah.
He's like, can I go in there? I'm like, yeah. He goes in, he smells, pulls his mask down, smells. He's like, there's nothing. And Bully's sitting there. He's got a drink. I have a drink on the table, and he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah. He's like, you having a beer? Yeah, right on. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's that time or whatever, it was like a Saturday night or some shit or whatever. I don't know, I forget. But
maybe the dude just had COVID. Oh no, that's a taste, right? You just
well then
that's a taste.
But then
You
he
can't smell
fucking
anything.
he goes to leave and he's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, it's all good, man. I'm like, I'm sorry that you're caught in the middle of this. I'm like, because now he's realizing like maybe the guy upstairs fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it was our fault. But either way, he's like, now he's realizing, he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm sorry you're caught in the middle of it. He's like, no. I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. He was just so apologetic. He leaves. I'm like, fucking right, man. Yeah.
Now
So
we can get away with anything.
Dodge that one. Yeah.
hopefully they're not watching.
Yeah, well,
I left
you're
my
past
card.
it
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, well, you're past it.
Yeah.
But if
And
you're-
they asked me for a review and shit. I'm like, oh, I don't think you want my review. So I gave it to them. But the other thing is that I said, I was like, okay, there was like the neighbors being dinks and shit. And I said, I didn't give the whole details. I just said the neighbors were annoying, whatever. So I don't blame the hotel for that. But all the other shit, I blame the hotel for it. I couldn't even call them to get the fucking Wi-Fi password, like, anytime. I don't know how this guy was getting through to fucking bitch about it.
Yeah,
The
right,
fucking-
right.
They fucking shut off the power the morning that I went to leave. And, like, it's because, like, Hydro came to do, like, some kind of test or some shit.
Yeah.
So I fucking put on my shit because we were getting ready to cook food. I'm like, man, everything's off. Put on all my shit. I walked to the fucking desk because they weren't answering. Walked to the front desk. There's a guy standing out front talking to some dude. I walk past him, go into the building where all that's in there is the front desk. I walk in. All the lights are off. There's no one in there. I stand there for like 5 minutes. The guy who I just walked past pokes his head in. He goes, can I help you? I'm like, oh, I'm just looking for whoever is like working the front desk. He goes,
Yeah.
well, that's me. I'm like,
Oh,
she didn't say anything whenever I walked by.
Yeah.
So I'm like, does anybody know what's going on with the power? He's like, oh, yeah, it's like a scheduled thing. I'm like, so no one told me that whenever I
Yeah,
called
right,
in.
right.
And I'm like, did everyone know about it? He's like, yeah. I said, he's like, Jason would have known, and he's the guy that runs this shit or whatever, right? I'm like, well, I'm like, that's probably who I talked to. And I'm like, why wouldn't he fucking told me this, right? So I put in all this, like, fucking complaint. I was like, it's great.
Yeah.
The location's great. Everything around it's great. But, like, you guys
Yes.
fucking suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this.
Anyway, sorry. That was long story short.
Yeah.
Or short story long. But
The never ending
It's
tales
just
of styles of profit.
fucking hilarious. I don't
That's
know how
right.
it even came up. But, smoking inside.
Yeah,
I think maybe,
yeah.
But, no, I thought that was hilarious. Like, I was like, oh, shit, buddy's coming in. I was, like, a little bit nervous, but at the same time, like, I still smell, like, the onions and shit.
Right.
There's,
Yeah.
Onions.
there's nothing. That's what it was. That's what it was, too. That's what it was from.
Big shout out.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to do it. Shout out to onions. What'd you just say?
Hey, Cap City.
Cap City vibes, baby.
Yeah, shout out.
Someone's has been here.
Nice.
Said, what's up, Cap City? Jamal Garney's in there. My woman
Jamal.
joined. TJ Terminator's in there. Everybody, 808 Villain joined.
There you go.
Fucking Redneck.
What's up, though?
All
That's
that
it, that's
all
it.
that starts with shout out to the t-shirts. Because he's like,
Oh,
yo,
nice.
big love on the t-shirts.
Nice, man. Like the ones we're wearing?
Yeah,
or the
him.
fucking
Yeah.
Poutine
Oh,
review
yeah.
shirts?
Yeah,
Nice.
He's like, oh, he's
Go
got a
get
Poutine
one.
shirt
Cop
on.
that shit.
Cop your fucking Poutine review shirts
Yeah.
now.
Oh, and at the
ASAP,
same
right?
time, I always forget to tell people, man, if you cop one of those shirts, you get
Do
a
we get
chance
a
to
free-
win $100 in a mystery bag.
Yeah.
You got to send me the
We got a
screenshot of your
contest open right
confirmation.
now.
Oh, you
I
heard
keep
that.
forgetting to tell people that. We need to maybe plug it more. I'm gonna make a post with like ponies and like
Yeah,
unicorns
saying
and
if
shit,
there's
rainbows
a
and stuff.
Tin River t-shirt,
You're
you
gonna
guys get a
fucking
hold
regret
of
it.
him, that he was gonna put your name in a $100 win for a draw. Buy that
That's what's
t-shirt.
up.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Anyways,
Instant
I got way off topic with the fucking smoking in the hotel room and shit. The other thing is, just real quick, the only reason that or not the only reason, but one of the like reasons that helped me make that choice to smoke in there was that either way we were getting bitched at by the neighbors because they had their windows open and shit, and they never asked me for a deposit. They never asked me for a credit card. They have my name and my phone number, and that's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
More
And
fool them.
So yeah, fucking right. Wait, what'd you say?
Said more fool them.
More fool them. That's what I thought you said, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, wait, more fool them. Any motherfucking way. So like I said, I got off topic, whatever. That's how I roll.
Hey, it's all good, bro.
But,
At least
uh,
once an episode.
My phone.
But so you guys been working together for a little bit?
Yeah.
I think you guys already answered that. But on that topic though, like what do you guys got going on for the future though? You guys got shit coming like right now?
We got a track. Got the beat already done for it. We got a track that we want to lead out. We don't have a title. We have an idea of what the concept's going to be. He has an idea. I have an idea. Two different ideas, but it's
more in the pop scenario. Like,
Yeah, you've been doing that,
we're
eh?
going
You're trying to get the
we're going all over the map. So there's gonna be like, you know, if you're a phony person, excuse my fucking Instagram live, is the reason why Pinocchio tracks get dropped. But other than that, that's not my angle. And fucking my old school stuff is all
Fair.
like just not properly put together.
like how old school?
Well, we're going like back Quattro.
Not-
like,
okay,
like,
that's what I was gonna say,
but not
like
too
back
old,
to the
but
Quattro.
Even after like 2013, 2014, when I left an 8-year relationship, like I did like Shane Laundry YouTube. There's 12 tracks. There are 7 or 8 videos there of me just freestyling. They're over 2K and some are over 1,500 and this and
Right.
that. But that's even then, like that's why I leave like that style of me or the overreactor or the guy, the impulse rapper, the part of me that wants to take a chunk out of your face. I mean, that I leave that in SoundCloud. I don't leave that. Like I said when we got here, like I feel like hip hop's you gotta have a professional, some sort of professionalism, like an approach with it.
Yeah, it's a
Respect
business
for
in
your
the
piece.
end.
Exactly. You know, you're not gonna get around being a shitty human or fucking whatever or this and that, whatever. But with him, we just did recently there was a track sent to me, and I was self-conscious about it because I was like, yo, like moonwalking and certain tracks that I'm doing, it seems like Dirty Laundry is like evolving to like a more pop star type, but I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to test myself. You know what I mean? Because it makes me feel uncomfortable. Emotions make everybody feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So when it gets to these tracks and I'm like, and I get a hold of him and I'm like, hey, it sounds a little soft. And then I showed him and he was like, yo, it's.
Well, that's how people get to
fire,
know you
man.
too, though, man. Like, who was it? Come on, help me out. He came on here and said that he just put out an album that was all about himself. Fletcher G.
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry,
Fletcher
Fletcher G.
G, yeah.
Shout out Fletcher G.
That's right.
But I'm just. I know a lot of people, I guess. But no, Fletcher G came on here not long ago, and he was talking some shit about how he his album that he put out, or his EP or whatever. I just say album. If it's a project, I just say album. But yeah, so whenever he put out his EP, he was like he didn't want to put it out actually because it was a lot of personal shit and a lot of his story and a lot of like letting
Like, is it
people.
like was it like a save for later type thing, or it's just like he didn't really want everybody to know that?
I don't
right
think
now?
he wanted to make that step, but he did end up putting it out. But it was just that he had this second thought of like, do I want everybody to
Well, you
know
gotta
this
trust
shit
your
or
city and
whatever?
your fans, too,
But
because
but
not
that's
every-
what I'm saying is the point is like how you're saying like, oh, like you don't want anybody to think you're getting soft with your fucking like
Yeah.
new style or whatever, or
it's
not
rough.
even new style, but you're like switch in style. It's my thing is that when I see that, like, so maybe let's say my point is let's say that you're like actual, what do you call it, like the content or like the actual like context or whatever of your lyrics, let's say,
Yeah.
necessarily don't change into like a emotional thing or like a soft type shit, but your sound does. I think in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's not getting soft. I'm like, he
Trying
can
harder.
feel that emotion. Like, say, like, actually, okay, here's a good example. Kevin Gates, hard dude, gangster dude.
Yeah.
Everything's like fucking like
Hood dude,
cold
too,
hearted. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's got some shit where he sings or shit, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He might be singing about fucking
Fucking a bitch or
like
just-
yeah something, and it's not an
Sexual
emotional, it's not emotional lyrics, but it's emotional feeling in the song. So that's my point is that you may not be giving off the fucking, you may not be saying those emotional things, but you're giving off that feel of the emotional thing,
Yeah, exactly.
and that lets people see into that other side of people,
Right,
right? So it's
yeah.
like, oh, he is like that,
Well,
right? Or like, oh,
like
he
I said
does he does like
I've
that, or he is
Mm-hmm.
he feels this thing, right?
Well, I've been doing it for like over 2 decades.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? But like that's why I say like the most uncomfortable situations I've gotten all that feedback from my people. Everybody that is like, I was like, what do you think about this? Like, yo, that's fucking retarded sick. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, when you promoted, even when you went in that story and you guys are in the car and you're singing the song, like, you don't
Yeah.
know what that does to an artist that tried as
right.
long as I have, where I don't see my tunnel vision all the time, not always in focus because I battle other things, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
something else going on or whatever.
Yeah.
But to see somebody like, you know, Manly and whatever, like,
Yeah.
bump a hook like that, it's like, fucking right. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So, like, we come a long way from, like, especially when we come out from what, you know, Armpart Renfrew
Yeah.
area, you know, when we bring Quattro into effect, it wasn't just that people hated it, it's that nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And we just broke silence.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you know, there's rappers out here that aren't in fucking hoods. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I might be growing weed out of a fucking cornfield or robbing your mother.
You know what's funny, man? speaking of Renfrew and Armprior and shit, fucking, there's 5 people in this room and 4 of us are Renfrew Armprior.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, that's
why, like,
fucking
when
wild.
when I say, like, you know, looking over at Ben and the opportunities, even knowing Kin for his amount of time I have, and knowing you guys going way back, like, into seeing what you guys are doing, like, this is what it is. This is the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah.
This is exactly what you were wondering. Like, oh, I want to be this way. You know, you were doing music before this,
Yeah, yeah.
way back,
Yeah.
right? And then when we went to smoke when we had a first beer or 2 open, I told him on a cigarette break, I was like, yo, it's so far. Like, the push is like, what the fuck? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, fuck you, people that didn't
Yeah.
think that we couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? And it's like, small-minded people build a small-minded opinion. You know what I mean?
that's
So it's
true
Small
that.
town stuff too, right?
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
just it. We were
Yeah.
saying that outside too. I was like, man, I'm like the fucking small towns and shit. Like,
yeah.
like when you're there, like it keeps you there, man. Like, and it
Man,
has this
Armprior's like a
mentality.
fucking black hole.
Well, and
man.
it has a
Oh.
mentality too of like, man. And the thing is like the sad thing is I see it, but I almost can't escape it at the same time. But like, man, I had buddies like I'd be like, oh man, I have like, I mean,
you
again,
do it
opinion thing, but in my mind, I'd have this great idea, man. I'm gonna fucking buy this fucking gravel pit. I'm gonna get grants to fucking buy the gravel pit. I'm gonna have, you know, and do all this shit, whatever, right? And I had it all fucking figured out. I had it all planned out in my head and shit. I'm like, oh man, yeah. I'm
It's
like,
that one
this is a
idiot
good
that's
idea.
like, hey, man, you can't really get the hype.
We're on tour, yeah, we're on tour smoking and shit. He's like,
you can't
oh,
get
yeah,
Wi-Fi in
no.
a gravel pit.
that won't work, man. Like, I don't think
Exactly.
it'll work. I'm like,
Because they don't want you to succeed.
fuck you, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do it
Fuck
anyways. And then
yeah.
later, I'm like, no, he's right though. Like,
But still,
Yeah,
though,
that's
like,
a lot
still
of work,
like-
you know.
Let them,
Like,
like convince you that what you're doing is stupid or like
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
achievable.
No, the first trick is don't even ask anybody.
Yeah, just do it.
do it.
And then
Sure.
show
Man.
them,
And
show
then
them,
tell them
right?
after.
I had a lot of
Yeah.
The
people.
same person that gave an opinion will be the same person that'll go, man, good for you. You know what I mean? Right off the
Yeah,
bat.
yeah.
Not, oh, well, you can't.
Facts.
Go fuck yourself.
I had a lot of people with this, like with the podcast, like, oh yeah, like good
Journalism
luck
just
and
started
shit,
too.
whatever, you know. And like my cousin at first, like, man, it was like the first, like maybe like 4, 5, 6 at the most months or something. And fucking my cousin was like, oh yeah, you have a podcast? Oh cool, yeah. He's like, how many followers? Because he was getting into doing a podcast too. He's like, how many followers? We're like, oh, nothing really, whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, like how many views do you get? And like at the time we were doing like, we were starting to get up to like 100 views and shit like that, like by the time the next episode came out and shit, right? So I was like, oh yeah, you know, like 100 in a week or whatever, like that's not so bad. And like I said, we were just starting, right? And he's like, whoa, he's like, you have 100 views like in a week? And I'm like, yeah, but then like it doesn't really like change after that much, whatever. He's like, but you do 100 views in a week? And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, oh man, fuck, okay, yeah. Like I could just like, he wasn't like completely blown away, but I could tell that he was like, I would have never expected that to like do anything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like maybe I just took it that way and like took it offensively or whatever. But like his reaction was genuinely like, oh, I didn't think you could do that or whatever,
And
right?
it's a start
Yeah.
though, right? Like I say, like
Well, now and then that's my point. Is like now look, I'm not saying like, oh fucking look at us now, but at the same time we have made a jump from that point, right?
oh damn, party foul. That's DL's fault.
Yeah.
That's totally DL's
I
fault.
like the color of your sweater though, bro. Can I see the front of it? What does it say on the front of it? Oh, okay,
Nike.
okay.
Just
nice.
do it.
Nice.
Just do it.
Whenever I was a kid, man, I used to wear Nike everything, and I actually was like probably like kind of fucking spoiled little
Bro, it's gonna
prick
be my turn now.
with the Nike everything. Yeah, man, do your thing.
That's
You know where it's at.
Can't expect to drink all the Corona. No, some fucking-
I will say I noticed the shoes. I noticed the shoes right away when you stepped out of the
Yeah,
truck
yeah.
earlier too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Right
Yo,
away.
you already just put out shoes.
When you
Yeah,
were when
that's
you were
right.
steering
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you were
yeah,
parking
cop that
when you were
shit
parking
for
I saw
real.
the red and green on the fucking shoulder or on the elbow.
You say Yardi put out shoes?
Yeah, you already put out shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's fucked up, man, is like I've been trying
it's
to
our
fucking do
city's
this
time,
shoe
man,
thing,
for
man,
sure
for a
it is.
bit.
Is he like just made his own brand of shoe or like?
I don't know, man. I would show you, but my Instagram or my phone's dead. But it was like it's on his Instagram. It's like, from what I understand, like I think it's like Yardy by somebody,
Okay, so
you
he's
know,
in
or like I don't think it's called Yardy, but it's
Yeah, it was
like
like a skateboard influence.
something,
shoe
yeah.
too.
That's
Like
pretty
the
dope.
one that he had
a
was like
band.
kind of like almost like like a shell toe Adidas kind of ish.
Yeah.
But like it had like almost like a alligator like snake print like in
Yeah.
the middle part of it, and the back part of it was like really colorful, and it had like a little like Yardy thing in it.
Yeah.
Um,
And the Rasta colors, I think.
they're like yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're cool for sure. But the thing is, I've been like, man, I want to
Like
make
a
a
rubber
fucking
grip
shoe
like the
company,
Vans.
man, and like I have a really good idea for a shoe company. I don't have like anything other than that. I don't have really like much funding for it, and I
Yeah.
don't have like I don't know where to go.
4G kicks.
I'm like, where do you go, right? Like
Yo,
I looked
for
it up,
real,
man.
man.
I tried
Catch
looking
me
it up.
on that in
I
2
tried looking
seconds.
it up. Like, man, where do I get some shoes and shit made? There's fucking places in Ottawa where you can get shoes made, but you can go there and ask the guy to like, he's like a cobbler, and like he'll make you a fucking
Right.
pair of shoes. But like, I'm like, no, I want like a fucking factory that'll pump out some shoes and shit. But you know what people are doing right now? A lot of shit in LA is what they'll do is they'll be like, I'm selling this shit, right? So I got these shoes. I'm selling these shoes. You want to buy these shoes? Go on my site and buy these shoes, right? You go on the site, you buy the shoes. You wait like 6 months for the shoes.
Yeah.
But what they're doing is they're taking all the money they made, they're buying the shoes and getting them made, shipping them here from fucking wherever, and then distributing them, right?
Fast.
And so I found this on No Jumper because Lil House Phone started a shoe company, High Rollers. It's basically a fucking Nike like shoe. He even said he's like, I basically stole the same like look, but instead of the Nike swoosh, it's got like dice on fire or whatever. But
yeah.
point is he sold all the shoes, he sold
Before
out.
he even made any shoes.
Before he made the fucking shoes, yeah, he had like some samples or some shit that he had given out to people. So he's giving this shit to rappers. So rappers like, oh,
What's
look
up,
at this
Nick?
shit, right? So everyone's like, oh, I want this shit, I want this shit, I want this shit. So then they put the money out, and then they're like, and so he would be on No Jumper, and people are like, where's my shoes? Where are my shoes? And he's like, your shoes are coming. He's like, they're coming from fucking Portugal or like some shit. He's like, they're on a boat right now and shit. But right now, I'm waiting on some shit from fucking. Remember we had Hayes on, Lil Hazy
Yeah.
or whatever. We had him on. His buddy has a magazine. I bought is Have a Nice Day magazine or something like that. I bought the magazine. You buy like the fucking special pack. You get the. Remember I was talking about the 6-foot stickers,
What's going on?
Yeah.
Earth?
and then you get the.
Shout out. Earth.
There's like pins and shit. You get all this shit, right? So I'm like, cool. I'm like, I want that one. So I order it. Not long later, man, I'm looking through people like there's Ass Pizza and like all those guys.
Yeah.
They all hang
I'm
out.
already hungry.
You know, Ass Pizza is like he's like makes clothes and shit like
Oh,
that.
okay.
He's like a like streetwear type
Ass
shit.
or
He
ass?
just did a Ass Pizza. Yeah, he just did a
Like, yeah,
collab
yeah,
with Supreme. He's the first person to do a triple box logo. And then they asked him to do it. He just cut the shirts apart and made 3 logos on it, and then sold it to someone. And then
Money.
it made so big that Supreme's like, you want to make one of those with us? So anyways,
Dope.
so my point is all these people that hang out with this Hayes dude, it seems like they're doing the same thing, right? So everyone's hitting up this Ass Pizza dude being like, where's my order from 2019 and shit like that. I'm like, dude, I just ordered shit from these guys. I ordered issue 3.
You're gonna be waiting 3 years.
I ordered issue 3, man. People are like, hey, I'm still waiting for issue 1 and shit like that. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what did I do? But my point is the one guy not long ago said, hey man, he's like, the fucking magazine's coming from China or whatever, right? He's like, I've already like got it ordered and it's coming. So then I like started to clue in. I'm like, this is what these people are doing is they're taking the money and then getting it done, and then
kind of scammy though. Like it does. Like
well, you still get the product, but it's just that it's like now I'm getting China to make them instead of me paying
Right.
China fucking 300 grand to make these, or I'm just using China as example because the one was China, but get
Good cover-up.
outsourcing
Good-
it,
it's a
right?
great
Well,
cover-up,
but you
yeah.
No,
outsource
it's fine.
somewhere, right?
Like we don't want to say
And-
anything bad about China. I mean, because Corona happened.
But you
5 million
outsource,
people are
right?
sick,
And
just
then
send
so
them
my
on a
point is like you could go and put the
Leave that
3.
open. I gotta.
Oh man,
can,
don't
I
hold it up. Fuck, I gotta go
Do you
too.
need do you need
So,
somebody-
but if you put
do you need
300
somebody to
grand
hold it, or-
out and you buy all these shoes and you sell these shoes, right? Boom, it's the same thing as if you do it the other way around, but you have to have the money up front, right? But this way, it guarantees that these people are into it enough that they have paid you the money for it, right? But the only thing is the first person that orders, say you open the fucking, it's available fucking May 1st, right? The person that ordered May 1st has to wait for the person that orders the last pair of shoes or the last item in order for me to now be like, okay, I've got enough for an order, right?
Right.
So then now this person who ordered here is now waiting until September because the last guy ordered in September. Now I've put in the order and now it's another 6-month process. So now it's like a fucking year back around, right? So like it sucks that way. Like it's like not scam. I was gonna say scammy, not scammy that way, but it's like shitty that way. Like they're kind of like they're being dinks that way. But at the same time, like people are still getting their shit. It just takes a while because they're getting the money and then doing the thing. So it is shitty. But at the same time, I also see that in the sense of interest.
seems
If
like
you
though, like-
you can't bank on interest, right? Like you can't just be like, oh, hopefully they're gonna be interested in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy $300,000 worth of shoes and then try and sell them. So instead they do it the other way around. But it's just if they can make the turnaround faster instead of being like, oh, I'm waiting on a boat from Portugal for fucking 30 episodes of my podcast.
So what I'm thinking though is like, let's say for argument's sake, like you do have to wait at least a year or 2 years or however fucking many months for your product to come through. And
But you
at the
don't know
time-
this though. You don't know that.
But now they do, right? Like, so
Yeah.
because this is like I say, I think it's like a pretty common like business tactic for people on like GoFundMe sort of. It's like that same sort of thing. It's like, here's this product we're gonna build, pay us all this money up front, and then we'll ship it to you later. And I think it's for when it comes to like clothing brands or shoes or whatever it is that you're getting. I think like, let's say for argument's sake, it's like something that's really hot and like popular at the time, and then you have to wait 6 months to a year to get it. By the time you get it, it's like it's not cool or not popular.
Yeah, but
anymore,
the
you know
thing
what I
is
mean?
by the
Nobody
time-
cares because the new thing is out. It's like,
No,
oh, I'm gonna pay for
but
this.
by
thing
the
now.
time-
Like, dude,
but by the
things switch
time-
fast too. So like,
That's what
But
I'm saying.
here's
I
the
got
thing.
an iPhone 11 like 2 days later. Like I got iPhone 15. Like how the fuck
But
did you get a fucking?
but here's the thing: is by the time you get that item, everyone else has just gotten that item too, right? So no one's actually seen anybody like
Yes.
wearing them, right?
Right.
So until someone wears it, it's not old, right? So like literally, so in that, it's true because in that whole like designer fucking world and shit, like, they talk about it, man. Some people will only wear their like who is it? I just saw this the other day. It's like Future or somebody. They asked him. They said, "You never wear clothes twice, right?" He's like, "No." They're like, "What do you do with it? Because it's all designer shit and whatever, right?" He's like, "Everybody on my old block is wearing like fucking Gucci and Fendi and like whatever,
yeah.
right?" He's like, "I just go home
Yeah.
and give it to people, man." He's like, "I buy fits." But the thing is like I said, man, these people are weird, man. I mean, I'm like
more
my-
money than sense.
I
in my
might be
opinion.
one of them. But the thing is, to them though, it's like this came out right now. This is the summer, fall, or whatever. Or this is or fall, winter, or whatever. This is like this right now, right? So you get that shit, you wear it, you get a picture of it. You're on the red carpet and shit. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he got that shit that was out like a week ago or whatever." But then you don't wear it again because it's like, that's old now.
That's
you know,
right.
like once
It's
it was
old news.
seen, it's old, right? And like I said, it's dumb. Like it's dumb. But at the same time, I also kind of like feed into it. But my point is that with the shoes, it's like no one's really done it yet. The only people who have done it are the people that got their samples, like the rappers and shit, that are obviously in your mind like, okay, they're getting them first so that I get hyped over them. But either way,
It's
I
like
get
marketing
it.
at its
Well,
finest.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say either way, I get it, but at the same time, I also understand from that side of where it's like, I know what you mean, because it's like by the time you get that shoe, you've already seen the next and the
Something
next
else
shoe.
exactly that you want to get, or someone
But
else has had.
no one's done it yet, right? So as soon as you're on the Instagram with your Fitbit and they're like, oh shit, he's got the fucking the holy rollers, like, oh, with the ice cream, oh, they got the pink and the brown and the white, oh.
Can you imagine waiting for that long for something that you can only wear a couple of times and then
Yeah.
Oh shit, eh?
fuck
But
this.
at the same time, you sell them and they're worth more, right? Because
too, 'cause,
you can't buy them.
Kanye, no.
Oh,
Kanye,
stop.
Kanye
You
West
good?
explains, like, even just getting into the whole clothing business. He's like, somebody asked him, like, how, you know, they say you have to lose money to make money. How much did you lose? He's, I lose $24 million the first 2 weeks just
starting like a business.
You know what I
always
mean?
does that.
Like,
yeah.
fucking, like, Yeezy's, like, you know, good for him. You know what I mean? But, like, I think, like, yeah, anyways, yeah, but he says you have to take major loss, like, fucking, you have to lose a lot of money. I think he was surprised. I don't even know why he started doing clothes. It's like, after the Taylor Swift thing, he just, like, was like, I gotta redeem myself.
Yeah,
you know what
I think
mean?
because
he-
always into like the fashion.
wanted-
yeah, you know, he was
fashion.
definitely always caught before even dating a Kardashian at fucking actual strips and shit like
Yeah,
that
right.
in Paris. And I know this because of fucking TVO and shit or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The French station, they would show, like, you know what I mean, and they would do
Bunch of
updates.
it.
Yeah, that's his
Yeah.
thing. That's their thing. Yeah,
Hell
not
yeah.
dresses like Young Thug, but whatever.
Yeah, seriously, eh? Fuck.
Can't keep
Yes,
my
yes.
girlfriend, I don't have one. No, but he just seeing Yardi, just seeing the city the way that it promotes itself, and then being involved even like, you know, like styles like, yo, when you come see us, we're gonna be at Burrow. It's just like, this is great. You know what I mean? And, like, growth, it's possible, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I don't know where I'm headed with that between clothes and music, but I could say, like, I'm proud of my city to look and see somebody, you know what I mean, even outer city has put so much love in our city, you know what I mean? Because, you know, TO and OT, there's always there feels like there's like a Trump wall
Right.
in music there
Yeah.
somewhere, you know
Yeah.
what I mean,
Yeah.
between gang and actual talent and numbers. But like, you know, you see already putting out, and it's like just artists that are local putting out, like, they're not stopping, you know what I mean? Like Bully Zone's like, I can't quit at having this tiny little room with this little room. Like, I need to do something more, and
More,
he did, you
yeah.
know what I mean? And like, fucking, he believes in Twigs. I believe in him. I know you guys. I know the squad. I know that y'all see and share that what I see in this
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
and I'm glad that it's happening for him.
No doubt.
And this was just months, just the last couple months we were talking about it, and after last night I was like, yo, these guys are gonna grab you. This is good.
Fucking
Like,
right.
this is huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they're the biggest doing it here. And shout out Dreamland. I mean, they're doing it. They're more
Yeah, they
like
do
a
it big,
by
too.
province label and less. Not less, just by province.
Yeah, they've definitely.
You
helped
know what
a
I
lot
mean?
of
They
artists.
help a lot.
Yeah,
Like, we're,
yeah.
you know what I mean? We're Platinum's more like, you know, like my city is still doing Quebec, but Dreamland's like half and half, like more grown over
Yeah,
to the side.
I
you know
feel
what I
like they cover a wider field, sort of.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, yeah.
But Boldy Zone did the impossible. He believes in the people that believe first and most in themselves, and
Yeah,
then even whatever you
facts.
guys lack, he'll give you that.
Totally,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And Twigs or whatever the fuck you guys don't believe in, you'll get the feedback from either your friends, your family, your fans, or the people that are like, hey, you know, don't be scared to do this, and you go do this, like, just like singing, like you said, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't sing, like,
Yeah.
fuck singing in the face, you know what I mean? But like, you know, straight the fuck goods. But I'm not gonna lie, getting in touch with my emotional side and really pushing myself, the totally different attitude. People, you know, they're, oh, Shane, I'm like, yo, you guys weren't saying that when I was doing street shit, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, because they see that, you know, you push, you know, it's just
You just
like,
can't do the same thing forever, though.
No,
right?
you can't.
Like,
You
and that's
can't.
like even established artists. Like, they'll do a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? They'll put out an album or two albums, and then all of a sudden they'll switch it up completely. Like MGK comes.
Yeah,
to mind, you know?
MGK,
that's
it.
Just
That's who I had in
completely
mind.
Switched, right?
He
And
is.
it's like,
Oh,
you
swig.
know what I mean? And people, some of his hardcore, like old like Day One fans are like, oh, you know, why'd you do that? You're not the same anymore.
No,
Like-
he got really mad at an interview one time.
I'm kind of upset with
Facts,
MGK.
recently about fucking asking him that question, and he was like, "Man, fuck you." Basically, like, I do this for my because I like I do this for my daughter. I do this for the people I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so forth. Like, I don't know. That's like, but good example though. Good example of a turnover. I mean, he took a loss to Eminem, but I mean, it just goes
But
to
man,
show
he
you,
fucked himself.
Like he did though, but in a sense, like, you take Eminem and you say, well, like it's like put Eminem in a bully zone position, okay? And
He is.
you say facts, and you say, well, you know, somebody like me even, and you know disrespect somebody like him. You fucking you just put a governor on your fucking career
Right,
here because he's
governor, I like
involved.
that.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, pump your fucking brakes because you're not coming in through the back door. You know what I mean? That's what he did with Shea 45 and stuff like that and this and that because Eminem's like, it's not necessarily that he owns the fucking company, but he's, you know, you put in the loyalty, you put in the time, the money, you know what I mean? There's another word I whatever that I'm looking for, and yeah, he did make those calls. You know what I mean? And you know, so you got to be careful, like
Whose toes you
you
step
gotta
on.
you seriously, especially when it's a small city like Ottawa. And I'm not just talking numbers. I'm talking like it's a small city. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
especially like the music scene or whatever, like especially hip hop. You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely like.
We've had to take a different approach with hip hop here too because we can't come in fucking blicky to blicky to blicky to blicky. Do you know what I'm saying too? So we've had to change like that all Ottawa's soft to like fucking eventually evolving to like keeping our heart within the music. At least the true Ottawa rappers here always keep to their heart here, and it's not looked at as anything less or whatever. But when you're from Toronto and you switch again. I'm open-minded, but I'm
Toronto's-
just sticking inside the box for a second. You know, and you gang, you're gang, and it's like it's a totally different drill. It's a totally different vibe. Like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm glad that Ottawa, the trues that are growing here, fucking. You're like, hey man, he's from Ottawa. Like he didn't change his fucking roots or whatever. you know?
Yeah.
Like so, I don't know. I'm proud that I'm standing here right now. Like I know it's like I'm doing a Bieber fan thing, but I don't mind putting myself out there like that to say, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm super hyped. I'm just not jumping up and down like fucking Tom Cruise that, you know, married an extremely ugly whore. But I mean, out of all the girls he could have got. But, you know,
Why?
I
Who?
would've banged-
Wait, who?
I would have banged Oprah.
Who you saying?
Fucking,
Don't say who I
the
think.
girl from that fucking, what is that?
Oh, he's
Something-
saying it.
Something Dawson's
No,
Creek,
he's
you know what I'm
saying it.
Like, this bitch is just ugly. She must
man.
have sucked some good dick, but
What?
she was gross, you know, and he was
Come
jumping
on.
on the couch. But anyways,
She's like Mila Kunis in her best, man.
Yeah, I know. Like, what's her fucking name?
I know what her name is, but I forgot Joey or whatever the fuck.
Joey.
That was her name in the show, was it not?
I'm gonna have to fucking Google this now.
Oh my god, it's Cat something, isn't it? Or
Someone tell me it's
Katie
Not that, Katie Holmes. Is it Katie
Holmes.
Katie Holmes, yeah.
Right. Yeah,
What
man.
the fuck?
Right? Yeah.
I'd pay good money for that.
Honestly, I'm turning it down all year round, but
Oh,
like
man.
fucking, ugh,
That's all right.
I don't know. It's just
No, but
she doesn't look freakish enough. You know
fair.
what I mean? She looks like she's loyal, but you tell her to suck some dick. She's like,
but that's
I don't know how to
what that's
do
the
that.
thing is that's what you want, man.
Yeah,
You
I
want the
guess.
innocent looking ones.
Yeah, I guess.
Then
That
the
don't go to
fucking
church.
nastiest.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do have to say about Toronto is somebody asked us on this show, help me guys. It doesn't matter who it was, but someone asked us about Toronto. Oh, you know who it was? Actually, you guys weren't there. I was on Yardy's Live. Which he didn't save because I think I was pretty fucking drunk on that one because I did our show and then that. But anyways, short story long is he asked me, or I could be wrong, but anyways, someone asked me about Toronto. Do you think Ottawa will, or do you think Toronto will get overlooked in the sense of like Toronto's making a lot of noise right now
Yes.
and people see
So
them?
Ottawa will
And then do you think Toronto will get overlooked and like maybe Ottawa can
Facts.
what do you call
Facts.
it, like capitalize on that?
Yeah.
And I all day, man, I'll say is Toronto, all I see is violence, man. Violence.
That's
And if
right.
it's not direct like shooting and killing violence, it's like, hey, what do you think about this guy hating on this guy? And they're like forcing the
Yeah.
narrative of beef,
Right.
fucking whatever. Man, okay, actually, did you guys hear about the dude that fucking got shot up? It was, from what I understand, I think it was two rappers. It was the corner of fucking Kingston Road and fucking like Highway 2 and Harwood Boulevard, which is like in Ajax.
Okay.
So there was a guy. This was just a couple weeks ago. There's a guy and a girl. They, I think they pulled up on someone and shot them in a car. Like they were both in cars and they shot them in the car. And then the people in the other car shot back and they ended up fucking driving into like a Wild Wing restaurant. And they showed like a person. There was a video of a person walking around the car being like, what the fuck? And there's all bullet holes everywhere in the car. And they get to the car and they're like, there's no one in the car. What the fuck? So I guess the guy and the girl like got out of the car and bolted, but they were the ones that originally were shooting or some shit. Then they got shot and shit. So then they ended up going to the hospital. But my point is, 2 points. One is 2 doors down from where this Wild Wing is where I was going to the bar last fall. I went down to Ajax a couple times last fall. I was going to this bar like
Easily
2
you can
doors
get
down.
caught in
I
the
was like,
fucking
holy shit, man. Like I was like, what the fuck? I was
Yeah.
smoking outside and shit, like right out there.
Yeah.
But my whole, so that's like kind of side note, but my whole point of that whole thing is that like I said, if it's not fucking violence like that,
It's sad. Like I'll say 2 points. One is.
I said
it's-
2 points, so you can have 2 points.
Yeah. Please. One is the best tracks that come out of not just Toronto rappers, but mostly from Toronto rappers is the most effective tracks are the ones that they're retaliating or they're
Yeah.
mad. People like it when you're mad. And
That's
some
it.
people like it when you're vulnerable. And
People
doing
like
some
a
shit.
reaction.
They like it when you're the reaction.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna put anybody on the spot for another scenario, but I was involved in a scenario where I was called in and the guy I made sure that because he was gonna be in the live when we weren't talking, so I was
Yeah.
like, yo, when we're in the live, it's like other people writing like, yo, just squash it, like fucking would be amazing if you guys do a track, but that's just like you guys like again not directed, just like you like the drama or you like what these are people's lives, you know what I mean? To answer easily why Ottawa will overpower Toronto in the sense, or at least gain its major respect in the numbers, is because of our hearts here.
Totally.
No
You know what's
offense.
funny is
No
I was gonna.
offense.
It's funny because I was
No
gonna
offense.
cut you off at one point and be like heart, or I was gonna answer your question and be like
Only
heart.
because-
But I was like, let him say this because I bet you he says heart.
It's because we do have a soft side, and because our mamas didn't, and I'm not saying
I
young
think
mamas did
it
any
takes
different.
one like big breakout artist though, right, to really put the city on the map.
Everybody's
Yeah.
got their own.
But you know what? The one thing I will say, man, and people have said this to me before, and I've argued
Forrest.
from the other side. Like people would say, "Oh yeah, like artists from the city don't rep, like big artists from the city don't rep Ottawa, really."
It's true.
And I'm like,
in a
"Fuck that!
sense.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do." But like, man, look at Dax.
Yeah.
Dax like literally pretends like he doesn't know we exist, right? Fucking
Facts.
Night.
Malcolm X.
One thing I
grew
will
up
say
in the
is
same neighborhood
Night
as him.
Lavelle, nothing. And it was like a picture, Rap Nation, whatever. And sometimes it would like Pulse or whatever. But we'd listen to this Night Lavelle song, and I was like, "Yo, this shit's
remember that
fucking fire, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah." And then now, like, we start doing the podcast. So I'm talking like fucking 5-6 years later. You're talking about this Night Lavelle from Ottawa and shit. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's the guy that we were listening to on the Rap Nation shit before, you know? I'm like, I didn't know he's from fucking Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm not saying anything against him. I'm not saying he doesn't say he's from Ottawa, but you just don't hear it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like it's not stressed enough.
If
Even like
anybody
Belly,
makes
it's
it
like,
in Ottawa, like I swear to fuck, it's because of people like, Holy Zone and even Quest or whatever else.
Yeah.
They just say it how it is.
yeah.
The facts is.
Man,
that-
even like Magic Mike and
Yes,
Dynamic
yes,
and
yes.
shit, man. Fucking
Dynamic,
100%.
Oh my god, like Dynamic, her move on.
DJ Duckets and shit, they
Yeah.
put people on the map too,
Yeah,
man,
exactly,
and that's what I
exactly.
love, man, and that's
Exactly.
the one thing I fucking love is when people can be like that, because I mean I get it, it's their job, it's the radio show, it's the fucking this, it's the that, it's they're promoting the shit, so like that's what they do, but my point is that I love seeing that. Because it's like, okay, yeah, like these people aren't just out for themselves. Like, yeah, sure, they're out for their fucking product or whatever, but like their product is promoting other people, you know. And I love that. It's like this comes up on the show a lot, man. More so in the earlier days. But what did Gord say to us?
Bye, Shibu.
But is that what he said?
Yeah, in
in
the
the comments
comments,
right now.
Yeah. Why did it go down again?
Oh fuck, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, I was up $500 on Shibu the other day. But anyways, okay. So, but our buddy Gord, our fucking lawyer buddy, he would tell us. So, okay. So everyone's trying to build a building, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's trying to build a building. That's your life or your career or like your whatever, right? So everyone's trying to build a building. but you're trying to build the tallest building, right? And you want the biggest, the best, the tallest, whatever, right? But instead of me turning around and tearing your building down to make my building feel taller, I'll help everyone build their building, but I just want to make sure that mine's still taller than theirs. You know what I mean?
Or not
So
even, or just
help
bring
everyone.
just bring everybody.
Or yeah, even if we all have the same size tower. But the
I like
thing
way
is
you
you
said that,
always
because
want to like.
technically, it's facts that almost anybody that's about in a position to take a gain or whatever, and there's very few that actually want the people in front of them to
Right.
take a fucking gain. You know
Right.
what
Totally, yeah.
I took, what was it, not even 2.5, a month ago, because I've been battling something on the side. Two things. One is, like just, they're personal. You know what I mean? One's
Yeah.
one's addiction, one's family court. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm battling these things on the
I
side.
know all about
and
the
another
family court.
and just, I told him, I have these plans. I want to do this. And then the last time I talked to Bullyzone's like, yo, like you look like you got like something, an idea in front of you. Truth is, I wanted the best, and for the people around me. Yeah, I realized that you can't do everything. I can't make promises I can't fulfill, or I can't do everything by myself.
Right.
But
You know
that's
what I
the
mean?
other thing too, though, is where you get the fucking something you said earlier kind of goes along these lines, is that you can't get the fucking so how I was saying, you want to help everyone build their building and
Right.
shit. You can't help someone build their building if they don't want to help build their building.
They have to help themselves. It
Like,
only
yeah.
goes up a couple floors.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I
like
mean?
yeah, exactly.
But-
So if you can find the people that like, okay, yeah, this guy wants his shit, like I said, I forget what is it you said, but you said something along these lines, like this guy wants it or whatever. It might even actually been you, sorry, Ken. But it was like when they see that like you're into it, or like you want to, actually it was you said you were like, you're talking about Bully Zone, and you're like, man, you're like, I want to do this,
Yeah.
and like, so when people can see that, fucking now I totally
somebody
lost my train of
believes in
thought,
you.
but yeah.
No, I hear
Oh,
you,
but
I hear you.
yeah,
Just
well, it's like, yeah, you don't want to help
you're
someone
like, yo,
build their
I can
building
help
if
you, but
you're just building their building, but you'll help them if you
supposed to
see that
bounce
they're
off
trying to
each
do
other,
it.
you
Yeah.
know, to build the building. You know,
Yeah.
you can be like, here's a handful. I get you for the five levels, but after
Yeah.
that, you gotta push yourself. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
That's
I had
just
a-
it. It's
I had
like-
a plan for a podcast. I had
Yeah.
a plan for a lot of things. The last couple weeks, I've just decided to.
What kind of podcast you doing?
I honestly
Just whatever?
just what, like, Cap City vibes, like what all like you guys are all doing.
Yeah.
Just so that, like, what you see me do in the last 100 hours.
Here's
on
the thing.
Instagram with my stories. With my Instagram with my stories is basically you just push. You know what I mean? Like fucking. I realized I can't do it all by myself, so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't really want my people that are situated already where I'm trying to make an idea that's gonna be built bigger than their building.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm trying to do is, now I've taken a step back and told Kin, like, where you go, I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna say it as it is. I would love to be a part of the people that walk through this door when it comes to
Yeah.
the people that are signed to platinum. DL is a platinum records artist.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to be involved. I was telling Kin on the way here, instead of me feeling like it isn't my day, but my day is coming, but not being grateful for it, I told him, I'm fucking proud of you.
Yeah.
I told him, yo, I'm fucking proud of you. If you think for a second that your accomplishments isn't the exact results I was looking for, then you've got me all twisted. Because
Yeah.
it's not like that.
Right.
To answer Bully Zone, I didn't know how to answer that day. But if he asked me the question right now, do you want to build a label? No. I don't want to be in the position to be top dog, but I want to be able to build and construct and nurture the situations that I'm involved in to get somebody else up. It feels better,
Yeah.
way better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that just helps you surround yourself with people that are successful.
back to
doing
the
exactly
beginning,
yeah.
the very
True.
beginning, when you said, you
True.
are who you're around, and it's fucking facts, man. Fucking facts.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking actually, just too, I was at one point, well, and still discussing trying to become a manager and shit.
Nice.
But that would be the same thing, right? Surrounding yourself with those people, right? Like, it's like, not only does their success in turn make your success, but at the same time,
It's the only way out of it's coming up.
their drive is your drive too,
Right,
or like
yeah.
your drive is their drive too, or vice versa. It goes both ways, right? So I wanted to try and get into that type of thing, but if Bully Zone's watching, we talked about some PR shit one time, or not PR. What's it called? No, I just sound like an idiot. Not PR. What's the fucking A&R?
A&R.
Oh, A&R.
We talked about that type of shit. So I would like to revisit that conversation. I'll fly all over the world and fucking find rappers. It's like a hockey scout or like a sports athlete
exactly.
scout.
Find talented people.
Well, I mean, rappers or artists. I mean, kid met me Chinatown.
I wouldn't
fucking
fly
Petro.
anywhere.
And well, not if they have Corona, but like, I hate the world we live in right now, man. Straight up.
Facts.
I'm picking up smokes at like $6.50 at fucking the Petro in Somerset.
$6.50 or $6.50 a.m.
$6.50 p.m.
Oh, p.m. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah. So when I was walking out of the store, I seen a girl. Just there's a lot of
Girls.
not less fortunate guy people that don't have places to live or whatever.
Oh, true,
You
yeah.
see like the panhandlers, like you can kind of tell like you had a decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could throw something down. I told the girl like when I went outside, she was like, "Do you have anything to give me?" I said, "Well, yes, but it's not It's not going to be a financial thing." And I told her, "Look, I have some sort of a name and pull that." I said, "I really like your voice." She was probably 48 years old. It was Nikki G. If you look her up on
Nikki G.
YouTube. I haven't had a chance because we came here and I'm 3 blunts and plus. And fucking, but when I get a chance, I'm told that I'm gonna totally share that. Said that Corona is advantage. There's disadvantages, advantages. You know what I mean? You gotta get together with me. I throw my social media numbers at you.
Mm-hmm.
You use your bank account, and we put the same scenario as this. And get somebody to, and then you just put them on the live and get them people to donate and put something towards.
Yo, you know what,
I
man?
told you it's not,
You ever heard of the soft white underbelly?
Nope.
Wanna know?
No, it's cool. If this might be this like similar idea to what you're talking about, but soft white underbelly soft white underbelly. It's something white underbelly. But anyways, it's on YouTube. Dark white underbelly. No, someone Google that shit. But it's
it
a something white underbelly. But it's so what it is, man, is they go through like I guess it's like mostly in LA and shit. But they'll like go around and find people and like interview them. Like they'll bring them to the studio and interview them and shit. But it's like this one dude, man. Like I feel
soft white underbelly.
Yeah, soft white, yeah.
It popped up anyways. It's a thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
So it's like, man, so this guy does like these interviews with people. So like the last one I watched, man, was like this guy, the fucking, I can't really remember the story. The guy was shot in the face either way.
Disrespect.
And like they had to take out like a large chunk of his brain. And like they had to take fucking skin from his thigh to like cover up like his eye and shit.
Wow.
So like the guy does not look like a human being from the fucking neck up. But then like sorry, I feel rude saying that. Just in case he watches this, but
I'm like,
he like can't see and shit. He like can't see very well out of his other eye and shit. And like so this guy. So point is like this guy finds these people. I'm getting too detailed in the one subject, but the fucking guy finds these people and he'll do interviews with them, right? So like it's like the soft white underbelly meth addict or whatever, right? So then they'll like interview this like meth addict chick, and then it's like soft white underbelly crackhead or whatever, right? Or like crack smoker or whatever, right?
You say it so subtle, just soft.
Yeah. And welcome back to the soft white underbelly. But yeah, and it's just like shit like that. It's like, oh, like fucking like teenage prostitute or like, shit like that. And it's always like some fucked up shit. He went to this place, man, where these people are like super incest. And like to the point where like he was having a hard time talking to these people because like the one dude was like barking and stuff, and like the other dude was like hiding, eating like a handful of like what might have been a sandwich at one point. And like so this guy goes and like basically he's like finding people who are like less fortunate or whatever, like something's wrong with them or whatever. But like he'll go, like I said, it's in LA, so he's going to like where the fuck they have the like, what do you call it, like the Skid Row and shit like that.
Yeah, right,
so he'll go down there and he'll find some interesting character and bring him back to the studio and do it, right? But my point is he does like a GoFundMe and shit, and he'll get them going and stuff.
I was like, isn't that like exploitation?
Well, yeah. So just
the
because
word.
he was talking about doing, he said something about the GoFundMe thing and with this chick or whatever. So I was thinking of the same thing. I felt like it related, but yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he sets them up. So like this one chick, she was I ended up watching both interviews because I watched the second interview, and the second interview was like talking about things in the first interview. I'm like, I can't watch this without this, right? But at the same time, why am I watching this, right? But the first interview was the dude found this chick, and she was like sleeping in a tent, but she was sleeping around like a bunch of fucking like well, in Skid Row, right? So she's sleeping around a bunch of like it wasn't a good place for this girl, right?
Right.
So this guy found her there, and he did the interview with her and shit, and she was saying that like COVID basically like fucked her life up, and like her and her fucking boyfriend broke up, and like she lost her house and her car and like all this shit, and ended up in the fucking streets.
Crazy.
And so now she's in the streets. She doesn't even have her boyfriend or her dog or anything, whatever, because she had a dog. But point is the guy finds her and fucking does the interview with her and gets her a GoFundMe, and then does the second interview with her, and they're talking about how things have changed from the first interview and shit. And I don't recall the details as to like where she came from and where she went to, but I guess what I gathered was that she was in a way better place now because he had set her up with this fucking GoFundMe and shit. So he's doing stuff for them. But yeah. Well, originally I saw a comment somewhere that was like, "Oh, have you ever seen the soft white underbelly?" I'm like, what? And I thought it was just like, you know how they say like the Bible Belt and stuff like that? I thought it was just like the soft white underbelly of America, you know, whatever. Oh, right on. No, I don't know what it means. So I Googled it one day. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit, this guy's like from a show. And then I like started watching it. But short story long is it related to what he said when I started the story.
Right.
You don't know who you're gonna
So go
put
check
up,
it out.
You don't know who you're gonna
Soft white.
find.
Yeah.
The soft fucking song.
It's crazy, man. Like I think he does like a thing with cannibals too or something.
Yo, fucked
Like
up.
fucked up. It's crazy.
Wild.
Anyways, that's the second time that I've totally commandeered this convecation for something else.
It's all
But
good.
well, like I said, it related to what he said. I just took it too
that's
far. That's it.
Fucking not everybody people have a choice to be on the street or not be on the street. But I mean, like when you
I don't think they have a
she said-
choice though.
well, like I said, they don't or they
Sometimes
do. Like,
it's
Oh, I thought you were saying they do have.
Sometimes
right?
the mental health of them is so bad that they're not
Right, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna
Well,
say
like-
challenged or whatever.
Challenges, yeah.
And you drive by somebody in the street and they're like this. I mean, that could be drugs, but it could be just a mental health breakdown. Like I've seen people do some
Man,
wazy shit when
I
they're
always think, man, the one thing
you
I
know,
think
their
of all the
mental
time
health
is like for you to get an apartment and shit, you got to pay first and last. You got to pay your fucking
That's why
first
you
and
need to
last
go
on your
back.
hydro, your first and last on your
I have a house and
fucking
boat.
all that shit. You got to put your fucking, you got to buy your furniture and shit like that, right? So let's say you fucking have some hard times where fucking break up with your wife, and then you're like maybe like don't really have a lot of friends, but then you've like used up the couches or like the friends that you
You're,
had. So then now
you're
you've used up,
resourceless.
yeah. So now
Yeah,
you're
my
like
brother
out,
was-
and then you're like shit. All my friends, and I
Shut
just
up,
haven't
bro.
been able to like get this thing right. And like so you're like I had a job, but now I'm sleeping on the street, so they fire me because I'm grungy as fuck or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you're just stuck in this spot. So I can see how it can happen like innocently and shit, and like whatever, and a lot with like old people or like veterans and shit like that. So I can see like, you know, I get it. It can like happen because then how do you bounce back from that, right? It's like the one dude I saw, he was interviewed somewhere, bummed, like a homeless dude, and his whole point was like, man, he's like, if I could like have a steady place to stay for a week and like shower and like have clothes and shit, he's like, I could get a job. He's like, because he had like credentials and shit or whatever, but he like just was living on the street and was dirty as fuck and like couldn't get the job, right?
A lot of them
But
don't
if he
even
could,
have like bank accounts, right? So it's like you can't rent a place or you can't do
Well, then-
anything if you don't have
You know,
access.
but the
Yeah,
thing
you
is,
don't
is
have
but the
a
thing
credit score,
is
it starts
is
there.
even once you get that job, you're still living on the fucking street until you've saved up
Yeah.
that money. And like I said, it's
For
a lot
rent.
of money. It's like fucking $5 or $6 grand just to start like
Which is why I said
moving
it's
into
like
an
more
apartment, right?
successful in a relationship or the
So
buddy
then-
buddy team or whatever the fuck.
So then you're like, okay, I got $100 today. Okay, I need to eat. Okay, I'm only gonna buy the $3 hot dog or whatever, right? So you like ration your shit. But the thing is that you gotta fucking keep making this money and save it. So you gotta live like 2 fucking months on the street if you're saving every fucking penny just to fucking move into an apartment. Even then, you're like, where do I shower? Where do I get clothes? Like, how do I do
before
this?
COVID,
Like,
they
whatever.
had that fucking like emergency release money was like $325 in Ottawa. If you didn't have a place to live, no matter what, as long as you had ID,
yeah.
they'd send you $325. You know what I mean? Which they don't have in Quebec.
There are ways like I don't want to sound callous or anything, but like a lot
it's
of
good to
the
sound
people like so a lot of people like they'll sit there with their hand out and they'll beg for money or whatever, but then they don't put it to anything that will better.
But that's
their
what I'm saying
situation,
is
they'll
you're on a
just-
treadmill,
they'll-
right?
Exactly. They'll just like it's like a vicious cycle of, oh yeah, I've got like this 20-30 bucks for the day from panhandling or more or maybe less, I don't know, whatever, and then they'll just go and buy more booze and alcohol with it.
But
and
see,
forget about the situation they're in and then do it all again the next
but
day.
see, but you're also putting that into the sense that if they're homeless, they're an alcoholic.
Exactly. Sorry, I
But
didn't
my
realize
thing
you
is
took
that
the
there's
last
people
one.
that
It's
aren't like that, right? And like so I'm just saying like so let's say that someone did give
Sorry.
them the
Yes, you're
fucking
right. Yes.
like they were able to get a shower at the YMCA and they were able to get some clothes for the week so that they could go try and get a job, and then they get that job, they have to now like survive living on the street, earning that money and like keeping themselves groomed to like keep the job. And then on top of that, they have to keep themselves surviving. And then they have to
Which is almost
also
impossible
save
when they
that
do
money,
the bad
right? So
thing.
I'm saying, like, even beyond the point of, like, because you're saying, like, they don't have a bank account and shit. Even if they did have a bank account and they now have this job and they're, like, trying to, you know, okay, keep their clothes nice and, like, trying, like, to get a shower and all this shit. And they're trying to do this thing. Like I said, it's, like, fucking at least 2 months before you can, like, say, like I said, you're spending minimal amount a day just to survive, but you're keeping all your money. It'd take you fucking at least 2 months just to get like some like shitty little apartment somewhere with like a couch and a fucking bed in it. And then, but that's my point is that it's a struggle, right? You're like, oh fuck you, like
It's a super
it's a
struggle,
treadmill,
man.
and then you're
Especially
like,
with
why
the
would I
credit check and
fucking,
stuff like that.
why
It's
would I
super
keep this
struggle.
$300 if I fucking, because if I go now, I can go get this hotel or like whatever, and then it's just like now you're on this further treadmill and whatever.
this is what
But don't get me wrong, is I do get it, because even too like there's people that are there because of decisions they made, or there's people that once they get there they make the bad decisions and then now they're stuck in that situation.
Right.
So like and a lot of it, and I will say a lot of it does stem from those things or whatever. So you're not wrong to say that, but I just mean that there are some people, because even too like so one of my buddies, actually, shout out fucking Shaggy, he does a thing. I might do a vlog with him one day where what he does now is like he's got a GoFundMe, and he does he'll put like bags of fruit and shit together. So there'll be like an apple and a fucking banana and like some grapes and shit, and he'll bring that downtown. I think there's like sandwiches or some shit, but he'll bring that downtown and hand them out. But there's a place, shout out Lorenzo's on Carling, because they give him some deal. It's like 99 slices for $100 or some shit.
Yeah.
So then he goes downtown and he'll hand out these bags of fruit,
Facts.
so they all have like good healthy food and shit. But then
Yeah.
he'll give them pizza, because like fucking
Who
they
doesn't like
probably
pizza?
and they probably aren't eating it and shit, right?
Unfriendly
But
girl.
my point is that fucking when I see shit like that, you see them talk to people and shit and whatever, and you're like, oh man, like these people are people too, and like you know, it's just like decisions brought them here, and like I said, maybe sometimes it's not even a decision, it's just shit fucked up for them, and then they just can't
Yeah,
get
maybe, like,
back
they were
to it.
raised in a
Back out,
situation
yeah.
that
And-
wasn't the best. And
Well,
Yeah.
and like you said, there are ways out of it, because even too, like I don't know if this is 100% true, but I know a while ago. So my grandma worked for like not welfare, but she was like maybe like a social worker or something like, but
Right.
which like she was involved in welfare or something. Which apparently there was a thing, or maybe still is, that if you're moving to another town for a job, like you have the job. So if I like was like, yeah, I have a job in Ottawa, I'm going, whatever, they will give you the money needed to get you like the first and last and all this shit for your like apartment. But again, that's for if you're like moving, right? But either way, point is there is probably something you can go and get, you know what I mean? Like there is, so I do agree with you, there is probably help, and there is also the fact that a lot of these people probably have done things or chosen things that brought them there. But it's just some people are like especially the veterans and shit, man, are like, I feel so bad for them because they come back and they're like fucked, right?
Yeah,
and then they
yeah.
like can't do anything. So there are people that just can't help it and they're stuck on the treadmill. But I also do agree with you that
yeah.
there's a lot of
It's both,
It's
right? Like you
unfortunate.
say,
well, and then
it's
the
like-
people that are getting the money that are like, oh yeah, I know they're giving it, like, what'd you say, like $300 or whatever? Oh, they're giving it the $300. Oh, they're getting it, and then they're putting it into the drugs and booze. But the people who aren't doing that aren't able to get it because the people who are using it or abusing it are already, you know what I mean? So like, so I get it. There's like, there's a lot to it, but there are some people out there that are like,
Yeah, and like I said, I know people that have been in a situation where they had to live in a shelter for a while. You know what I mean? But they got themselves out of it, and they found themselves a good paying job, and
and again
Oh,
too,
it
it
brought
comes with
themselves
how
back
much
to
you
it.
want it to,
and
right?
that's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people I want to say that not a lot of people, but like there's a certain percentage of people that once they're in that situation just give up.
Yeah.
And it's just a vicious cycle of like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna.
Facts.
It's like you said earlier with the
numb
was
the
it you?
pain by doing this same thing over and over again.
Was it you or
Drunk
Bisho
in
said
the
earlier about how he lost all his music? And you're like, sometimes people would like just
that was
give
yeah,
up
yeah,
on
so
that
it was
thing and be like, fuck it.
wasn't
And
meant to
that's,
be. This is where I'm supposed to be. Like, fuck it. Like, why
yeah,
would I
same
even try?
concept. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I've been beaten down and beaten down while I'm down. And
Yeah.
it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to,
Right.
I'll take one of those
There's
or
a certain,
whatever.
like,
Like,
personality type that will take that and say, you know what, like I'm going to use that as fuel and motivation to get to the spot where I want to be. And there's other people that it just like tackles them to the ground and,
Yeah.
and they're like, fuck it, I'm not getting back.
and
up.
that's what separates people too, I find, is like that like exactly that. Because like even too, man, like I have a buddy, sometimes I'll message him like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? Haven't heard from him for a couple days or whatever, a week or whatever. Hey, what's up? Nothing. Week later, I'm like, hey, like, you good, bro? Or like, what's going on? Nothing. Like, month later, like, hey, what's going on? Finally, they hit me back and be like, oh, like, I fucking just don't want to answer my phone. Like, you know, I don't have to always be answering my phone and like this and that. Like, it's been a month, bro. And like, but how that relates is, oh, it's just that he gets in his mind, right? So he's like, oh, there's something. And like, he'll always, the thing is after, once we start talking again, he's like, oh, well, there was this thing, or like me and like this, like we were or like there was this situation or whatever, right? So he always has, so like point is that he gets in his own head. He's like, oh, fighting with my girlfriend, or like, oh, like there's this situation. I can't talk or associate with anybody, you know? And it's like, okay, like again, now I'm losing track where that connects. But oh, just giving up on shit. It's like, oh, fuck it. Like,
It's easy.
you know, like, yeah, it's like, oh, I'm upset about this thing. Fuck it. Fuck everybody I know, you know? It's like, no, like, hey, man, like, just like,
there's always a way out, no matter what. If you've got the drive to make it happen, there's always a way out.
Well,
I
see-
don't care how, but there's like been so many people throughout history that have been at like the rock bottom.
and
of
Trump's
rock
gone
bottom.
fucking
And-
bankrupt like 3 times or something like that.
I'm sure, and there's like even you were saying like Kanye was like millions and millions of dollars in debt. Like not like, but these people are different, right? They've got
They're- yeah.
they've got an image, they've got their thing, right? Exactly. Like they can leverage debt to create something else or whatever, or they just come from families that are already wealthy.
Where they know that the results are going to come in. You know what I mean? Like,
but there's some people that don't have those resources and literally just have no idea which way to turn to even start climbing back out of the hole that they're in.
Yeah.
And and like you say, there are resources out there to help people. It's just a lot of people don't know where to turn when they're in that situation to get that help.
well, that's where a lot of the
and-
complications
and I
come in
think-
too, with like fucking the
Like,
drug
just-
dealing and everything.
Yeah, just like even like
giving up.
handing people like a couple bucks at the fucking intersection when they're standing there with a cup in their hand, like.
Are you
if
encouraging this
like,
situation?
but exactly, it's like you're enabling it, right? 'Cause,
Exactly.
like, these people, like, if you have the wherewithal to stand on a corner for
You can
4,
fucking
5,
work, Mark.
6
Like, don't
hours a
fucking
day and ask people for money, and then you can do the same thing by ripping tickets at a movie theater or serving burgers at McDonald's.
Facts.
Like, you can make it happen, and there's no reason why you can't. Like, it's just that you don't have the drive to.
Again, the people that don't,
make that
there's
happen.
obviously like a lack in energy, like for the people that are in that situation. Then the other people that are in the situation where they're like, their mental health is so bad that
Well, that's just
you
it, is
can
the
tell
mental
that
health,
they just
right?
need to have somebody take care of them, and they
Right.
need some medication. It's not a fact of like they didn't want to try at life or fucking.
Well,
the
the other
whatever.
thing too is it's like if you come to a point where you're like, let's say like, I don't know, whatever, like your fucking like wife left you or like whatever, and like you're all in this like situation, right? And then you end up getting fucked up and you get in this situation where now you're like homeless and shit and whatever. My thing is that
right now, and
my
don't
thing
see, you
is-
don't see me
is
on the street.
you can
You know
like
what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
But but the thing is if your mental health isn't there, that you can't get to the point where like you can think of like, yeah, I can like you're saying, like I can just like get the help and like do this shit or whatever. One of those steps is fucking talking to someone so that someone can tell you how to fucking deal with shit or whatever, right? So I mean, like, that's another step, is that it's like you can't just kind of like manifest shit or like do it out of nothing, because
I mean, you
sometimes people
can,
are, well, you can,
yeah.
but I just mean, but sometimes people aren't in that mindset, right?
Exactly,
Because
that's my point.
even myself is like, I fucking watch like I watch The Secret and I pay attention to this shit and I believe in this shit, but sometimes like I do get to the point where I'm like, ah, shit. And it's not that I don't believe in it, it's just that my fucking attitude has brought me to that point, or like my surroundings have brought me to that point, right? So it's like, so my point is that sometimes it's not even that like, oh, I need to ask for help and the help is there,
Yeah.
because the help is there, but maybe you don't know enough to ask for the help, right? So then you need
Or
that
your ego's
person
too high, like,
you need that person,
I'm always helping people,
not-
but you
even
need
as
that
Kim,
person
like,
to
it's
tell
just-
you, hey man, fucking put your ego aside and fucking let's work through this, right?
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, fucking, you don't want to go to the mission? Well, the mission is gonna have a shower for you. They're gonna
Which
have
you
a
don't
place
have
for
right now.
you
Which
to
you
do
don't
all
have
this
right
shit.
now.
You can sleep, you can do this. So when you do get the job, you can go and you can stay pretty for the fucking job, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, my point is that like, so those people like might not know that that's there, right?
Yeah.
Like, not even that they don't know it's there, they're just like giving up so much that they just don't care
Yeah.
to find it, right? So I
It's nice
find
to
like
have-
it's people need to like go and like do it, right? Or
Yeah.
like help them maybe, but
like encouraging, you know what I mean? Like my wife she's 3 years in college for support, like an impact worker type
okay,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you've been through, like, girls have been through rape and all that shit and whatever, right? So it's the same thing, that sometimes you just need somebody to encourage you, to help you believe. It's back to
That
the
you
bully
can do
zone
it.
thing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
In the studio, like, oh, this track's okay, and he's like, nah, like, get the fuck in there, like, fucking, and look at it now, right? And then so
Yeah.
same thing, like fucking, like I was saying a couple minutes ago, like, I'm without a place to live right now. And you can't not only not tell, you can't tell it all. You know what I mean? And I'm not on the fucking curb, and I'm not a fucking plug. You know what I mean? There's ways to twist financial
see,
situations.
the other
to
thing, too,
benefit
is-
you, but not, you know, and like, it's just.
Well, and like the
it's-
other thing too is it also kind of it's fucking weird because it's kind of touchy at the same time. But even earlier I was saying like how like so somebody oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What were you saying with the fucking home? Oh yeah, so okay, wait. So I was talking about how, okay, let's say you have 3 friends, right? It's like you're only 3 friends. You're married to this chick. Fucking break up and shit. So then you're like, hey man, like, can I stay on your couch and shit? And they're like, okay, cool. So then like, okay man, weeks up, like, you gotta go. Okay, stay at the other dude's. Well, you stay at the, well, yeah, but so, yeah, but wait, but that's what I'm saying is I'm going back on what I said earlier. Was what I was saying earlier was that like how, you know, you go from like, you go to this person's couch and okay, you kicked out, you go to this person's couch, and you kicked out and you go to this person's couch, but now you're out of the options, right? And so what I was saying earlier was I was sympathizing, saying now that person is out of options and they're left to fucking their own devices or whatever, right? But now I'm going back on it saying that if you see somebody that's like, yeah man, I have 5 good friends that I went and stayed on their couch for a week each, it's fucking 5 weeks, so you could have gotten a job and showered at their friend, you know. So that says a lot about them. Is okay, if you've gone through your 5 or 6 friends and you stayed there fucking a week or 2 days or whatever at each spot, and you didn't do anything, and you're still in the same position,
Yeah.
then okay, that's that you didn't want it or whatever,
Yeah.
right? So I guess what I'm doing is now like just
Reneging.
going back, reneging, going back on what I was saying.
Well, like, everybody
But, like-
left with a decision. If you don't see, like you said, I don't want my building to be bigger or whatever. When we were discussing the buildings, it's just like, if you don't see somebody pushing it hard at all, then there's no point in giving them another week to stay,
Right.
or whatever. That's
Yeah.
why people get left in those positions, because not everybody on that corner, you know, has bad mental health, or, you know.
Well, and the other
Like they might have ran out of their resources. They literally,
Yeah.
because they're not trying. 5 weeks.
That's
a
just it. Well,
long
not just
time.
it, is
You
the
know
other
how many
thing
times
is-
you can apply to a job in 5 weeks.
Oh man.
If you're not sleeping, but
Man, if you
go
did
do a bunch of
5 a
cocaine, you're
day,
gonna fucking-
if you did 5
You know
a
what I
day
mean?
for
Like-
business days, that's 25 a week. That's 75 125 fucking resumes or 125 applications
there's
in 5 weeks. So
Bound to get a call back.
so yeah, exactly.
There's no
But
way in hell you're not, and that's the way it's designed.
But-
That's why I have a little bit of I am without a home and not homeless, but that's why I still donate to homeless. I still will pull up, but I just don't. I pick and choose my sympathy because of how I'm delivering it, because I don't want to encourage the fact that Yo,
Well,
I see you every fucking
well,
day.
see,
I
that's
see the
it.
guy holding a fucking bag with burgers in it. It's like that's the whole intention of you to be on the curb. The guy's holding the burgers and still trying to get $1. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
Like,
see, it's
fuck.
like, but if people know that they can get it, they will take it, right? So like even myself, like fucking, I used to have this dude. I would so I got paid every Friday, right? But by the time Thursday came, I was fucking like, I would have like $20 or something
Or
or
less.
whatever, right?
Yeah,
Or
or
less, not
less.
even any, yeah. So Thursday night, I found myself like asking my boss for some money or whatever, right? He was a buddy of mine. We went to school and shit and played hockey together and shit. But so it was cool. But he said to me, he goes, man, he's like, this is no offense to you, man. He's like, I never pay anyone on Thursday because when you pay someone on Thursday, they don't show up Friday.
Yeah.
I said, give me $20 to put in my gas tank and we're good. That's it, you know? So now my point is that if I was like just surviving that far, I had this weed guy that like I had to like budget that like by the
Yeah.
time Thursday came, I had to be able to buy some weed because I was now out. But got to the point where I was comfortable with him and he was like fronting me, right? So I would show up on like Wednesday and like front some shit.
Shout
But
out to the fronters. You know?
but yeah, but my point is
Yo, I
that
could go deep with the West End right now.
but my point
Rocks
is
overnight.
at the start
Let me do
I
mine
was like
$3,000
trying
later.
at least trying to budget that money in at the end and keep that money for the rest of the week or whatever. But now that I knew he would front me, I wouldn't need to save the money because he would front me on the
Well,
Wednesday or the Thursday for till the Friday, right?
It's like late Thursday or
So,
Wednesday night.
but so it's like, so point is it's like if you know that your friend's gonna let you stay on the couch and he's like, okay, he said it was a week and now it's been 13 days. You're like, okay, yeah, cool. So now you've gotten used to it, right? You're like, okay, cool, yeah. Like he's now not gonna like. That's the way it is, right? So then that's where like the tough love shit comes in. It's like,
The tough love,
okay,
that's
man.
what-
It's like, hey, man.
Gambling, right?
It's
Yeah,
the
you've
end of the
done it.
day,
Yeah,
you're
exactly. I
just
can't
like,
help you
have
anymore.
to be a complete asshole. You know what I mean? Like the same thing I said with Malcolm. Like, and I didn't expect to talk about this. And this isn't.
Oh, you
a
didn't have
shout-
to bring it up. You
it's-
can.
Well, I just want to explain.
You still have the moment.
The appropriate time. So I want to make sure I say the right thing. So what I'm saying is you know, you welcome somebody in. This guy goes, well, you're Gaga. Like when we're on fucking Alive, like he was like, look at you, like yo, you're my favorite rapper. Like he was, like you know what I mean. Like he was legitimately my favorite rapper. Him and Misha, you know what I mean. They were my two favorite picks. From
Oh
opposite
man,
sex.
whenever I first, it was either whenever we first had him on the show or whenever I first like found him or something. But I put a fucking he put up 5 songs on an EP or something like that.
Yeah.
I put them all on my fucking daily shit because
Yeah.
I was just like, I fucked with it. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll listen to your shit. It was like, I fuck with that shit, you know.
Well, he just
So I feel you there though.
when you I didn't want to enable for him because like at the beginning when I'm letting him in my house, I put my mom and my daughter on couches so that him and his dog can feel comfortable in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? So like and then it's like you see drugs on the dresser. There's beer cans in the bedroom. My daughter is 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not so. I kept enabling. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna just keep feeding this guy chicken and just feeding him weed and everything. And then he just got welfare. And that night he's asking me to get a bag of dog food because he's such an alcoholic. He doesn't know how to fucking get in tune with himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's where. Like I had to give him tough love because, but like the reason why he ended up at the Cypher Gang house is because I told him like it's not even about financial situation. It's just like you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to benefit yourself. Like you're not even doing anything for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get out, and it sucks. But yo, bro, like even the night before he did that live, and he was explaining to the city, oh, it's everybody else's fault. You know, I would never have wanted to see him commit suicide or anything like that. I just needed him to know, like, your pattern, your fucking routine of your bullshit is the reason why everybody, you know, we all believe in you or whatever, whoever's in your corner. Obviously, you weren't allowed through the front doors or around people's kids or whatever, but, you know, you gotta respect yourself and you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you know? So, like, that's where that tough love, like, just beat it. It's like, you're serious. Like, bro, you're more than serious. You need to do something for yourself and... You know, it is what it is.
Sometimes that's the best thing you can do, right?
whether
That's
there's
it.
a beef ever or whatever the fuck, shitty human in his end, and I still fucking feel like a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like I still like I was like, and then I almost punched him out. It's looking at Cypher Gang, looking at AOK, looking at him and his dogs. Like, wow, like my mom really put a heart in there, eh? Like, wow, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Just get help for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man. Anyways, off that.
You said your
But like,
piece.
I didn't want Pinocchio to be some sort of situation that is viewed like everybody else's retaliation situations. I wasn't trying to diss the guy. There was 5-6 disses on the guy that week, and I was the only guy that never threatened his life. I never threatened his mental health. I didn't say go kill yourself or nothing. I want to, and it was taken out. Shout out Earth. You know, people in my corner to tell me don't do that, or
Too far.
Jay David's like, no, Jurassic, just do this, do that. You know, hit him nicely. You know what I'm saying?
Jay
Like,
David and Jurassic.
well,
Why you
this-
still rock with those dudes?
I talk.
I don't mean that in a weird way.
No,
I'm just
I-
asking. I'm just asking because I haven't heard of them in a
I've
while.
heard a couple
They've been silent for a while.
yeah. I mean, there was like some Cypher Gang, you know, SB, Sadware, you know, Jay David. Now there was push behind the
Beef
scene
there.
for there to be a point proven. I don't think anybody or them would have respected me or wanted it to.
Hey, yo,
drop as much
take
as-
this from your boy.
If,
I just realized you've been holding this for a fucking minute for the guy. Shit, man.
MVP rating.
It's funny because earlier I was like, I got better mention at
Would
the
you-
end. This guy held the mic the whole time.
And so I just basically like, there's, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
fucking, it was a touchy situation, and like, fucking, I didn't want the city to view it like when I got on Cap City Vibes Live, like, you know, shout out, and just basically like, I didn't want to sit there and make it like, you know, beef is appropriate, or that we need to have violence, or that there's guns and threats, and it's just not what, realistically, it's not what our city needs, not for
Right.
the culture
No.
or itself. So fucking, I had to take a different approach. I passed out 38 hours on the computer. You know what I mean? Like, boof, head hit the keyboard. I couldn't, you know, but I had to put out things that people would understand. You know, your shit ass.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. But I tried to respect him in the beginning of it all because I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
He begged me in behind the scenes not to drop it, you know, but I realized I'm packing my stuff and moving out of my I'm packing my stuff and moving out of my place right now.
No, wait, 1 sec, man.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah, they just showed
come here for a
Guy's got
sec.
some old English.
Yeah.
See the camera? Show them that fucking bottle.
Yeah. The old
This
English.
guy's a
The
G.
camera's right there.
God damn, man. Much love, homie. Yeah, 40 Zoe. That's gang shit, man.
It's, uh,
Sorry, I had to, man.
No,
That's
no,
me.
don't.
I drink that shit till I die, man. I like that. That's awesome.
oh,
But
shit.
I just wanted people to look at it like, you know what I mean? It's not just about a diss track. It's like fucking, because even Cap City's like, yo, you guys are really good friends. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? And like, it's not, I wasn't trying to take a spot or a trophy over that track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just had people that stepped up behind the scenes that were like, he fucked me over, or he did this, or he did that.
Well-
and I was like, yo, then put me on, you know what I'm saying? And people did, you know, and fucking, it is what it is. Everybody's got to learn their own way, just like a homeless person, you know, on the street that has choices. The same thing as an
Very
artist
true.
growing in Ottawa or whatever. Like, Malcolm is in a position to be one of the best that ever lived in the scene of hip hop in Ottawa. He's one of the best. Bitch, yo mama,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yo family.
Fuck yeah, he got bars, man.
Yeah,
He
he's got
spits quick too,
serious-
though. He spits quick too,
it's
though.
serious, and it's a serious, like, he had a
I've
serious
always-
infatuation in himself for that artist to actually grow into X from Dope Kid. Too,
Yeah,
when you see that
true,
jump,
true.
you see the jump from the bag.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm like, yo, top rated rapper here for sure. But
Yeah.
and then I sees you, homie, and I love you, and it's like, yo, you got to build yourself up better to be able to carry that whole.
Yeah, yeah. It falls in the
I could
again.
have burned that card so fast in the beginning.
It comes to the same thing we were saying earlier, though, man. It's fucking like you can only help people build their buildings so
If they
much.
want
Yeah.
to.
If they want to build it, then it's gonna happen. But if
You know?
not, you're just fucking putting in the work, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And there's
But-
to stay the same height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he like, and again, like, you can take a negative, you can take a positive for everything, negative too. You know what I'm
True
saying?
that,
Even-
man. There's
in the
silver
middle of
lining in
my
all of it,
friendship
bro.
With him, I told my girlfriend on the side, like, some waking up in the morning shit, like, you know, I'm faced with these cards I don't want to play. Like, you know, you're a rapper coming up in Ottawa, and you there's situations that happen. I could have played the card on social media fast. You know what I mean? If that was my it wasn't. I really wanted to help the guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? And like, I still think there's lots of there's lots of room for him to do well for himself. But
True, for sure.
be happy that it was a small thing where, you know, people still fucks with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when I seen, like I said, people deserve it. When they deserve it, they deserve it.
Yeah,
Kid
exactly,
Norn on the
yeah,
beat,
yeah.
he deserves
Deserves it.
He deserved that tag.
Yeah.
This
Well,
morning, he deserved.
the thing is
he
some
deserves
people,
that.
man, I will say some people feel like they're like entitled.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
I felt like that.
Like, no, I'm not
My
pointing any
word,
fingers either. I'm
owed
just saying though,
something.
there's
Yo,
people
my
that
word, it's
fucking
like that. It's like that big time. Bullies always
DBD.
like,
I
oh,
didn't even fucking.
yeah,
I didn't even
DBD,
notice
yeah.
it was you. I saw you fucking dap him up, and I was like, "Who's that guy,
That's
man?"
the guy.
What's up, dude?
Motive in the building.
You know, I felt like that, and that's why Bully's always like, "Yo, you look like Laundry looks like he's in his feelings when he
Yeah.
mentions about me coming to sign with Platinum." It's like, "Yo, don't make me catch a fine right now." You know what I mean? It's because my pause is because I've had to grow a lot as a human, man, and I realize
Man,
that
you
I
have.
am
I've known
not
you for a minute,
entitled
man.
to anything. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely worked very hard to try to get where I'm at.
You've grown crazy amounts, man. I've known you before. Probably a lot of these people. Well, I mean, he's probably known you
The longest.
Probably
the longest, yeah.
We go back.
But I
was
mean,
doing
like, as for like
way
people
back.
watching and shit and whatever, like me and Jonesy definitely probably. I remember
Way back.
but definitely, man. Huge,
battle
huge difference.
of,
Not
the
that you
battle
were like, not that you were a bad person before.
It's not even that.
It's just
more
that you have made better
egotistic.
choices.
It's more
You've made way better
egotistic. It's
choices,
more
man.
egotistic. You know, like I did something back then to get the attention the wrong way, and
Yeah.
by the
Right.
time I got the right attention, I was doing it the wrong way.
Right,
Does that
right,
make any
right.
sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Totally, yeah.
So I am not entitled. Do I fucking? Did I feel entitled up until just after Cypher Game or just before it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked fucking hard, but nah. After Cypher Gang till this minute, I've definitely pushed myself more than ever in a
Yeah.
more authentic way.
You want a beer?
Which, yeah.
Good, man.
Yeah, I wasn't offering, but I
You
mean,
want one?
yeah. What-
I got an hour drive after, so.
I was gonna
An
say,
hour? Where are you going to?
Castleman, man. That's
Nah, I'm
where I
gonna
live.
take
No
him to
way.
my
Okay,
house.
wait.
I'm
So I hate to take
I'm
away.
taking him to my house. I'm taking him to my
Yeah,
house.
I hate to take away from what you were just saying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta work at night tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
shit,
working
man.
on
That's why,
that.
Yo,
that's why he's got the eco.
boss.
Yo, he's got the outdoorsman. Outdoorsman trim, but it's the eco diesel
man.
fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's the diesel, but it's the same trim as yours.
Actually,
But
no.
the
I'm
yo,
calling
wait,
it quits. Shout out everybody here.
I was gonna ask you though.
Yeah,
I hate to. I was gonna. I totally interrupted him, but I was gonna. Man, right from the start, I was gonna ask you about your accent,
Yeah.
like where it's from. I mean, I know obviously like it's French and whatever, blah blah blah. But I mean, now I know. But I was gonna ask you, but then I also thought like maybe that's like a weird question to ask.
Oh no, man.
But I was so okay, my cousin. So okay, wait. So my cousin, my uncle. So my uncle married a
Hit the button
lady
up there.
lady from
Other button. Yeah.
oh shit, what the fuck's it called, man? Fort Clunge.
Yeah, Fort Clunge.
Yeah, so
Fort
my
Clunge.
my aunt is from was from Fort Clunge. My uncle married her, and then they had 2 kids. But my whole point is that I've never really been like, other than like the odd person, like from, because I'm from Renfrew, so we're like fucking like 15 minutes from Portage.
Yep.
So other than like the odd interaction with like people there, but they're like fucking not really French anyways. They don't speak a lot of French
Yeah,
there
yeah.
and shit. But my whole point is that whenever I first picked up on your accent, I was like, wait a sec. I'm like, it's like very vague too. But but my point is that I was like, man, I'm like, I was gonna ask you if you're like from like Portage type area, because I'm like, man, it almost sounds like my cousin and shit. But I find in Gatineau they have like a stronger or
Yeah.
like a harder accent, you know. But where my cousin's from, it's like softer, I would say, or whatever.
Yeah.
So whenever I heard yours, that's why I was gonna ask you. But you say Castleman, now I know.
But dude, that's where I live now. Like I grew up. Like I was born in Ottawa. Obviously, I'm Montfort, and till the age of 3, I used to live in Saint Isidore, which is like 15 minutes from Castleman. It's
Oh, okay, like
it's more
further.
yeah, like
Further.
eastbound. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So when we were 3, my dad got a job at a plywood mill in Hearst, which is fucking 12 hours away from here. It's in Northern Ontario.
Hearst, yeah, okay,
But
yeah.
Hearst is like known as the Little Quebec.
Oh no way,
Dude, like 80% of the population there speaks pure French.
Right.
Oh no way.
And
That's
not like Paris French, but like French
like
Quebec.
Laval
Yeah, yeah.
French.
So like that's where I get my accent, because I grew up in my life 14 years and I didn't speak a single word
Oh.
of English, right? So then after when I got in high school, then I moved to Timmins because my dad and my mom got split up, and
Right.
my mom got a boyfriend over there anyway. So I moved with my mom, grade 9, halfway through grade 9, and that's where I learned my English. I was going at a French school, and yeah, everybody was speaking English
Going
at a French,
school.
school. Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
Just want to
That-
say
I
that.
learned my English going at a French school. That sounds so fucked up, right? Dude,
Sorry,
but-
man. I'm not being. I just.
no, man, but
I have
dude,
a buddy. He's from Portugal. Everything he says, I make fun of. So.
dude, there's something about the area code 705. Like, it's such a special.
Which one's that?
It's like North Bay and up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The
Okay.
area
I was gonna
code.
say, is that Kingston?
So-
But no, that's my.
No,
yeah.
man. Like, it's just I
Man.
don't know, man. Like, they're good people, great
Yeah.
people. Just like different mentality and different way to operate. I find, and but just that. To go back to my French accent,
Sorry.
well, the little bit that I got left, I guess.
Yeah. Like I said, man, it actually took me a little bit to
Oh,
actually
dude.
realize, oh, this guy's like got a French
It's
accent.
subtle,
So
dude. It's-
like I said, it's not strong, but
Comme tu sais, je parle très bien français, là, comme c'est ma langue natale. I'm sure you guys didn't understand a
Ben
single
oui.
fucking word. You did?
no,
way. Oh,
I
okay.
just say, I
You just
say,
say, yeah, man.
I
yeah,
say
yeah.
Ben Oui all the
Well,
time
ouais,
because
ben oui.
I made up this thing, Ben Weiss.
Ben
This
Weiss?
this guy's name is Ben Weiss,
Okay.
but
Ben
people
Weiss.
say Ben Oui.
Ben oui.
So I say, oh, Ben Oui. So through text, I'll say Ben Weiss. I was at Rockfest for Montebello.
Okay, yeah.
So everyone around our fucking RV was fucking like super French.
Yeah.
And they all like I would stand around with like 8 people, man. They'd all be like, and the one guy would look at me and go, they're just talking about this girl's purse or whatever, right? But my point is like, yeah, I don't know any French. I learned puis-je aller à la salle de bain, s'il vous plaît, so that I could leave class to go take a piss.
Yeah.
So, but the reason why I learned to say it that way instead of like that way is like, may I go to the washroom, right? Or like whatever. It's like a more polite version. So I was like, how do I say it like politely, you know? So I learned that so that I could get out of class, right? So I don't know any French. But anyways, I was walking around because I had made up this thing, Ben Weiss, right? So I'm walking around and I'm saying Ben Weiss, and my buddy goes, hey man, he's like, can I talk to you for a sec? And he brings me in the RV and he goes, hey man, he's like, all our neighbors and shit out front are like French and shit, man. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, maybe you shouldn't say the Ben Weiss thing or whatever, right? And I was like, why? He's like, they're gonna think that you're making fun of them. And I was like, oh, I'm like, fuck, in my mind, I'm like, look at how funny I am.
Yeah.
They're probably going to get it too. And he's like, no, man. He's like, you're being rude to these people, man.
You're
I'm like,
fucking getting insulted.
yeah. So whenever, I don't know what you said. You should tell me what you said. But whenever you said that, I was like, I'm going to say Ben Weiss. And he'll think, I'm going to say Ben Weiss.
No,
But
basically
did you
what I
say?
said, I speak French really, really good. It's my native tongue. Like,
Okay.
je parle très bien français. C'est ma langue natale.
I
so-
got très bien, which is very
Très
good.
bien, very good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So no, it's just, and I think that's a huge asset for me,
Oh, for sure. Oh,
Dude.
especially right here, man.
Like-
Especially right
bro.
here.
Like, and just with music too, because I do have a French song that I produced. And
Oh, yeah?
yeah, man. Fucking check my Spotify. Check in
Send-
on
okay.
Check my Spotify. Kin on the beat. I got about 7 songs. Well, six. Hold on. Yeah, I got 6 songs on there. I got 1 French one.
Okay.
That was my second last release, the French one. So just as a producer and as a like lyricist ish,
Thanks.
and you know, I just find it's another lane that I can go into, right? Like and to go back again on
That's
the
true. It
producer part
opens
of
up doors, right?
Yeah, like on the producer side of thing, I could produce somebody from Quebec and still understand them.
Well,
you know, like speak with them and like give him tips in French. Like,
Well,
bro, I
that's
have
the
no
thing is-
problems doing that. Like, it's just another lane.
Even too, I was gonna say at the start, I was gonna say even just the communication
yeah.
first off, but then the other thing is that you come across a fucking French rapper. If I like, I mean, I don't produce or fucking
Yeah.
whatever, but if I was a French producer and mix master and fucking whatever engineer, dude, I wouldn't. I think that I would be able to do it, but I wouldn't. I don't know what you're saying. So I don't know how to make
Yeah.
that feeling,
Yeah,
right? I don't know how to
yeah.
express that feeling. So I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
You don't fully
so
grasp on the whole
yeah, so
vibe.
point
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
not only can you have that conversation with the French dude to help with the building of their music, but you can
Guess not.
understand
I
what
heard
they're
not.
saying to portray that or to push that feeling or whatever,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's definitely
Absolutely.
a big thing. And the thing is man, I remember like I was in like grade 9 French. I remember being like, what the fuck? Like, where am I gonna use this French shit? Like,
No,
what the
man.
fuck, man?
But
and
dude-
now, man, I'm like, man, well, even this would be probably 15 or more years ago.
Yeah.
I'd go over to Hull and go to the fucking casino. We go to McDonald's afterwards to get a poutine because they stopped selling the poutines at McDonald's in Ontario, but they did there.
Yeah.
This is years ago. They
Way
still.
back, yeah.
So we would go get them there so we could get a poutine, and I'd go into the fucking thing because the drive-through was usually shut down late at night.
Yeah.
So we would go right into the fucking restaurant, and I'd be like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" And like, not only did they greet me in French, which we're in Quebec, okay, greet me in French, but now that I've expressed that I speak English,
They don't even want to try.
they
Yeah,
still
no.
can't. Yeah, and I'm like, oh
They
my
try
god.
less.
So like, point is like I'm not upset at that. It's that maybe I should have like paid attention in French class, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
now and then like even too like trying to get jobs and shit in the city. It's
Yeah,
like,
dude.
oh, do you speak French? I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like,
There's
I
a
wish you
lot-
didn't ask me that.
There's
man.
a lot of places that will not hire you if you're not bilingual.
Yeah,
There's a
man.
lot of fucking places. Like
See-
my job, where I work, because I work at Maximum Power Sports in Hawkesbury. Shout out to Maximum Power Sports in Hawkesbury.
Get it.
If anybody needs a BRP vehicle like a Spider, an ATV, a side by side, anything, hit me up. Fucking man, I'll help you out. I'll give
Is
you
that
a good
Can-Am?
deal. Yeah, Can-Am.
Yeah, Can-Am.
man, that's what I do. That's my
Gang.
job. So I'm a salesman by day and I'm a producer by night.
Oh, nice.
So
I want
don't
to
know-
sell shit, man. I want to do that. I want to
Dude.
sell like cars or some shit, man.
You know what? It's not bad. It's just sometimes it gets fucking irritating. Like right now, I needed a little break. Like I'm at home for the next 2 months, mid of June, because
Yeah.
the main reason is that I gotta homeschool my daughter, like virtual
True,
school.
yeah.
So
You can't fucking-
mommy got a job. So mommy used to do it, and I'm not with mom anymore. So
Yeah, yeah.
I still have a fucking great relationship. I have a better relationship with my baby mama today than when I did when I was with her. So that's like that's
Me too.
fucking amazing. Yo, that's
Wow.
amazing, man.
Like, yeah,
So,
pretty much.
so man, you know, like she scratched my back. I'll
Shout out to
scratch
baby
yours.
moms.
Yeah,
though.
man. Shout out to all the baby moms out there, man. Like, definitely, man. You guys doing a good job.
But no, what you're saying is that she got a job, so you
Yeah.
kind of got to do your thing.
Yeah. So I told my job, and everything is there's a shit ton of delays right now with everything, right? So like some units I was supposed to get back in March. They're
Dude, I
June.
heard
June,
the worst thing right now is trying to buy a fucking 4-wheeler or
Yo,
a fucking side by side or some shit.
Like
My
right
buddy
now-
goes, I got this fucking bike. It was brand new for his kid. It was a I don't know, like a 90 or I don't know, 80.
Okay, probably
like CC
yeah.
or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
just little dirt bike thing. He got it. He goes, man. He goes, fucking, you wouldn't imagine what I fucking paid for that. I said, oh yeah, they're probably expensive. He goes, no man. He's like, it was the only one I could find in fucking Ontario.
Yeah.
And so point is, yeah, apparently there's like a fucking shortage of all this shit
Everything, man. Like and
because all the Serb checks.
And yeah, not just that. It's just because a lot of the material, like let's say, I'm just gonna use aluminum for an example,
yeah.
because like that's what I got in mind. Because with our Sea-Doo trailers, our personal
Oh,
watercraft
yeah, yeah.
trailers, they're made like
Wait, what
dude,
did you say? Personal?
personal watercraft.
Yeah, okay, there we
Well,
go.
hold on.
No, it's just super proper. That's all.
Yeah, man. So PWC, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So no, the material is almost twice as much expensive for the supplier, for the company that builds
Oh
them.
yeah.
So, you know, let's say if it's, I don't know, I'm just going to throw numbers. I don't know the fucking real numbers, but let's say it's $10 a foot of aluminum. Well, now it's like $17.99,
Oh, dude.
$17.95.
Man,
But
my-
the quality of the aluminum is not even like it's
Not
shit.
the same.
It's
Yeah,
shit.
they're buffing it out.
It's
like
shit.
my buddy the other day said he paid. He said he had. So people are how wood's up really
Oh,
high, right?
Bro.
Fucking buddy said he had to buy one piece of fucking 4x8 plywood, and the one side had like a nice face on it, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a
That's
nice
that's
face on the
better.
one side.
Yeah.
The fucking wait, what the fuck? It was $102.
Yeah, for one sheet. man.
$102, and like no matter what.
Inflation for you.
Like
Oh,
yeah,
fuck
and,
yeah,
and
man.
even if you don't have a price to compare that to, $102 is insane for that.
Yeah.
But like, and I don't even have a price to
fucking
compare it to.
100 of them
But I
on a sheet of
remember
house.
like, this would be again like another like 15 or some years ago. I remember them being like $24 or
Dude,
some
yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Like
Could
I'm
buy
like, what
5
the
for
fuck?
the price of one today.
Yeah, man, like crazy.
Jesus fuck.
But so like you said though, with the aluminum as the example, is that it's fucking.
There's just delays.
It's
everywhere.
it's hard to get. It's hard to, and the thing is you might be okay. So let's say that you're delayed on getting this part. well, it's because they're delayed on getting the material for the part.
Yeah.
Or they're delayed on, it's like, and so everyone's like back,
Yeah.
back, right?
And who gets the shit out of the stick? The fucking salesman.
Yeah,
Which
you
is
gotta
this guy
explain.
here.
Yeah, you gotta explain
You know?
to the people,
Dude,
right?
and that's why, like, I kind of needed a break too, because at the end I was starting to get like, not arrogant, but just fucking like direct.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like
it's-
like getting shit. It's like, hey, buddy, like I hope you realize I don't build a damn thing, right? And it's like, oh shit, oh sorry, you didn't have to be arrogant about it. It's like, fucking shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
You know? So like, I just needed kind of like a break, and you know, and it gives me a window to kind of work a little more on my passion and what I
Yeah.
want to do for a living. It's not that I hate my job. I love my job. I love selling shit. I love
yeah.
the environment. I
Man,
love
I've
my
always wanted to
colleagues.
sell shit, man. I've
Dude.
always wanted to just be the dude. Like, man, that's what my dad did all my life, man. Like, he would drive around and
Yeah.
fucking just like talk to people in stores and sell shit to them, man.
But
I want
honestly,
to do
man,
that, bro. Like, that's
honestly, I would rather sell my own craft and work on my own dreams than to work on
No,
someone else's
well,
dream. You know what I mean? Like,
that's for sure, though. You want to do that either way, right?
like much respect to my employer. Like, he's like legit, hands down. Like, fucking, there's no really wood, but knock on wood, he is the best employer I've ever had.
That's
since I
not what he
started
said
working.
before the show.
No, Shh, not supposed to say it, man. No, but real talk though, like he literally is one of the best employers. Like
Oh,
I've
fuck.
like
Give
shout out
it-
to Kevin Astley from Hawkesbury. Like, seriously, like he's one of the best businessmen I've ever had a chance to come across with. He's treating me super well. It's just. Like this is my passion, man.
Well,
This is what I
especially if
feel
he's
I'm
gonna
born
give
to
you
do.
time off to fucking homeschool
No,
your
he's
kid
not
and shit.
like, but he's not like, it's not really he's giving me time off. It's just
no,
like,
but he's what do you call
he's
it? Like-
short. Like
Yeah,
he-
but no, but
he's okay with it because he understands. Like it's mainly for
But that's
my
what
daughter.
I mean. Is he's cooperating with you, or
Yeah.
he's like collaborating, or he's meeting you halfway. You know what I
that's
mean? That's
it.
what I mean. It's like
That's
so.
it.
Yeah, I didn't mean like he's giving you time off. I just mean he's like he's understanding in that
Yeah,
sense.
that's
so
it,
That's
but-
that's a big thing.
But
man.
I've
That's cool.
made my point across. Like I'm not, I'm just I'm very straight up person in
Yeah.
life. So that's one thing. Like I'll bend to a certain extent. Like when it becomes to start, and I use the term corporate a lot.
Yeah.
Like when your decision starts feeling corporate to me,
Yeah.
that's when I'm gonna stand up.
True. Yeah.
Like fuck that shit. Like you're not gonna act corporate with me like I'm a number. I know my worth. I know what the fuck I'm worth.
Yeah.
If I'm not worth enough for you, I'll just do my.
Man,
Like
that's the biggest thing, man, is knowing your worth, man. Actually, I'm gonna fucking tell the Bully Zone story.
Nice.
I don't really like to tell other people's stories, but Bully Zone was telling me about this dude. Oh, sorry, I was telling him about this dude, right? So this dude, I won't get into detail because it'll give away who he is, but either way, and it doesn't matter, it's not a bad thing. But anyway, so I was pointing out this dude. I said, hey, yo, check out this dude, whatever, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was saying some shit about him, and, like, not bad. Anyways, whatever. Either way, I'm trying to dance around everything, right? But
Proceed.
either way, yeah. So either way, I brought up this dude. I showed Bully Zone the post and shit. And Bully Zone's like, yo, man, he's like, that dude hit me up to do a show in Ottawa. And it was a show that we did. Oh, sorry. So it was a show that we performed at. And Bully Zone, this guy hit up Bully Zone and said, hey, man, you want to do this show for us or whatever, right? And Bully's like, yeah, for sure, but like it'll cost you this much, right? Like it's gonna be money, right? He's like, I don't work for free, it's this much money. And the guy was like, he's super positive dude, right? The guy's like, yo, man, he's like, that shows a lot that like you fucking know your worth and like all this shit and this and that and blah blah blah. And he's like, so glad that you were like ballsy enough to say that to me and like whatever, blah blah blah. He's like, because you know your worth. And this guy's like, yeah, we'll pay you that, right? And Bully Zone said he showed up to the show, got half the money, and fucking left and didn't perform.
No.
But either way, I mean, maybe I shouldn't even told any of that story. But sorry, Bully Zone. But anyways, but point is that the fucking this guy.
Rat.
Oh shit! What was the point? Yeah, what was the point? The fucking guy.
the knowing your worth.
Oh yeah, knowing your worth. Yeah. So the guy came to him and said, "Hey, yeah, man, fucking want to do this thing." He's like, "No, man." But the thing is like you would think, "Hey, man, if I tell this guy I want some money, he's probably gonna tell me fuck off, right?"
Yeah.
But the fact that Bully Zone said, "Hey, man, I want some money," this guy was like, "Yes, I will give you money because you know your worth, right?"
Dude,
so it's like assertiveness, and conviction.
Yeah.
If you can say something with enough assertiveness and conviction is fucking true.
Yeah. That's how you
know,
get
you can convince other people. I'm not saying it's true. You convince other
That's
people,
right.
right? Yeah.
That's how you see. Again, that's how people like will respect you. You know, as a human being. Like if you like.
It's true.
Without being arrogant about it, you know, just as long as you know your worth. Just like that story you said, right? Like I don't know how to fuck whatever he charged or said his rate
I don't
was,
know.
but
He didn't tell me the rate either.
but
Yeah.
but it's still the fact that you know you just like that's my rate. Like you want me to perform, like
Yeah.
this is what I need. And
It's like,
if-
oh shit, this guy like knows what's up.
Yeah,
He's
it's-
not just a fucking.
and,
like,
and it's a nice way. It's a nice way of saying it's my way or it's the fucking highway.
yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
you know, like knowing your worth is key in anything, whether it's music or anything in life. Just people watching, got to know your fucking worth.
Damn right.
Got to know your worth,
baby,
man. There's
gang,
nothing more important than
gang.
that.
Well,
Hit me with a fucking time frame.
we're like almost 3 hours right now.
Oh, really? Oh, I just meant like
Whoa.
no, I mean like the time.
Oh, it's about 5 to 11.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's also what I was guessing.
Yeah.
So the other thing is since now we're at this point, what do we do first? We do the questions or we do the freestyle thing?
I say we just get into freestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody want to freestyle?
Here, Shay.
I was gonna say, yeah. I said anybody just in case you might step up, but I figured it's up to him.
No, because literally I suck at freestyling.
Well, you're the
but
producer, man.
but there is the 1% chance that I could fucking kill it. But I don't want to
Hey,
gamble
man.
on that. I don't want to gamble on that today. Maybe, I don't know. But fuck, man,
If
I
you're
know.
not feeling it.
Shane's got bars.
Here's my only problem is I have to fucking
Lacking
make a
in
sissy
freestyle.
real bad.
Dude, bro, you got
You want to freestyle? You don't even have to freestyle.
Yeah,
But if you
no,
want to.
no
No.
pressure, no pressure.
you got more bars than my fucking satellite
Yeah.
reception. Like you got my
You
phone
know,
reception, you know.
fucking-
Here you go, man.
All right.
Oh, that's like,
actually get
you
a
put on one of those
legs,
beats
man.
that you had for fucking for
Oh, I have
what's
some
for
new
Bully,
ones.
Bully Zone.
Yeah, the 137 one.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember.
No, I don't know, but it had a kick slap.
Yeah.
I'll probably do something I don't have written and maybe some I have.
Do you want me to play the beat?
Yeah.
man.
Fuck it.
Rock solid.
What the hell's a 4G audio without at least a bit of freestyle?
That's right.
Yo, Jardy pushed me hard and like it's hard to hear constructive criticism and I say it like that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's hard to hear somebody else's opinion and it's like maybe I could learn something from this instead of being like
right.
again egotistic and,
Yeah.
That's it.
and whatever.
You gotta stay open-minded, man.
That's it.
Key.
Yo, Debo
That's
let
it?
me link.
That's
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a older freestyle, which I did on the other one, but because this one is such a hyped ass beat. Yeah. Break coming, that break going. My scale, new on my scale, boat. My trip being in my new weight. Yeah, half and half is your all weight. And I did lines the night before, and I woke up as a new day. Now real talk, dog, I do me, and I deal with it in a swaggy way. Swag got me in beast mode in the streets. Know I hate people, and I'm selling dope like all day, dog. I ain't checking no people. Goonie watching my body while that body crashing sleep mode. Sure, I say you a Gino as soon as you stay stuck to that G code. Dang, popping the AM, couldn't open up, and the sun just beamed in, and I'm 34 and I bought out, dog. Watch it how they fiend it, boy. This kid shining, I'm gleaming. That's ain't season, I'm seasoned, and I threw a dash of spice in it. That's fun time the evening. Now take a look at my rap sheet. I ain't take no fucking lip at any questions you ask me. Flipping from start to finish, A-Town, underdog. Only deal with them prime bitches, dog. I don't deal with no wonder, bro. Yo, listen, cause he's high as a kite. That's why I stay chillin' under y'all. And that's hurricane, that's snow day, and I heat it out in the water calm. My whole set, and they know it now. That whole set gon' set the tone. Big family, we follow them, but don't bother them. The whole team in that feast mode. He's out in that beast mode. Show him where that body goes. 6 people over that body froze. That's how that biz go. That's where that snitch go. Pop 'em off like pimple. That's big beef and no pork chop. If my 9 catch a popo, then I cut him down to pork chop and I eat him up. Take a whole plate and I eat him till my fork break. Rob him in the daytime, then you know it's fan pay. And I rob him in the nighttime. Push for out, that's for round, that's for down, that's for sight. Get a balloon for a wallet, dog, and I'm spandex, and I'm all tight. See the way shorty looking at me, she looking alright, and I'll pick her up and I'll buy her lunch and I'll break the couch, fuck her all night. New curve, new phone, brand new connect, that's a new flow, new flow. 3 weeks just passed, maybe a new glow, new bow, big boss, small town, real G's get passed around. So many downers are down and down. Now coca for more insomnia. De'o call my partner. Dope father, dog, I'm fucking Valley's hip away. Better than my rhyme, my vibe, and I stay high. Paid during the daytime, you little fuck gotta get paid, right? And you know that my swag right, and I floss out with like no jewels. This office with like no tools. That's 101, that's no goon. What the fuck you gon' do when this old school over a decade? Hood dude, motherfucking homeschooled. Get money, most come before noon. Few speak cause the truth. I start all these dope goons that hit me up for that work. That's dope side for that perk. That's all dope with no spoon. Dog, that shit's work.
Hey. DL.
That's out.
All right, that was fire.
Nah.
Shit.
Rocking the
That
mic.
beat,
Right, man.
That beat though still.
Yeah, that was fire beat. Fire beat.
Half and half, it's on the beat.
Shit.
Always get on the beat, man. You
That's
know
it.
Shit.
But
You
don't know
the
now
best
you
thing
know.
about
Yeah, that's what's
too is
up.
Anything I've ever hit on like anything I ever dropped on his one of his tracks was an instant.
And that's one of the things. That's one of the thing. Yes, like
It's not like,
In the-
it's not like, oh, we did a couple of the tracks.
no, that's it. Like
it,
it's since the fucking. It's since the get go, man. It's since the beginning that every time we get in the studio together, like magic happens.
You would have to
It's-
be there even for like moonwalking when I
Yeah.
came to, like I said, it was originally supposed to have Misha on it.
Right.
Here, shout out Misha. And I literally, because she was going, like Blake Alexander got to 89.9 and then, you know, Respecting Hip Hop pushed a couple more. Misha made it 89.9, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
she had things that she was going to do and she was going to go forth with. She just wanted to take a step back, not do too many features so she can plan ahead.
Right.
So, yeah, like, I was like, fuck, you know, but it's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is, you know, because when I first threw her the concept, she was like, that's fucking hot. Like, that's
Right.
what the fuck. But Moonwalk, it wouldn't have been what it been if it had anybody else on it. When I went to Kins and I threw it down, the end of the night was like magic, man.
Yeah.
Magic.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Dude, you laid down 2 tracks that like your verse
the
for,
mental health track
dude.
was
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I
For
couldn't
Lose
even
My
talk
Mind, dude.
about
This
that.
track produced by Zed.
boys.
Zed, yeah, dude.
Sad Productions and Sad Boy Earth. And
Wait, Zed, like
Dude.
Living Zed?
Yeah. Yeah, he got
Yo,
out.
shout out
yeah.
Zed, bro.
Shout
Yeah,
out
he's
Zed.
yeah.
All you guys know that movie, The Dirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
just watched that like last night.
did you?
Yeah,
Okay,
did you? Yeah.
So then,
I
okay,
watched
so
that
then
on
you'll
Monster,
remember that.
bro.
You know that scene when they first get together and they jam for the first time, and there's
Yeah.
the girl on the couch,
Yeah, yeah.
and she's just.
I
like,
was the
fuck-
girl on the couch.
Yo, I was the girl on the fucking couch when he was laying down that track, dude. Me and my video guy Mart. Shout out to Mart, by the way. He's a fucking awesome
Wait,
guy.
by the way, that was fire.
Yeah.
So dude, so me and Mart, like he was laying, like we were on my deck at my place just like having a smoke and just jamming out, and he just like throw that beat on his phone and started like
Yeah.
rapping to it. Me and Mart, we looked at each other, looked at DL like that girl in the dirt, man. We're just like,
Yeah.
holy fuck. Like we did like we discovered fire, man. Like literally. No, but this fucking track has so much potential with SBE on there too, man.
Oh, true, yeah.
Bro.
My verse
You don't like. You guys ain't ready for this shit, man. Like you guys have not heard that, but like you ain't ready for that.
Yo.
Like really,
My
man.
mind track is based on you staring at yourself
Yeah.
in the mirror to give yourself self-talk like you're not gonna be the reason why I fall, or I'm not gonna be the person that's the virus in your life.
Yo,
But
my
you're
buddy got taken
self-talking,
away
you
for
know what I'm
that shit.
No, man, but it's all part two. You know, like
Seriously.
you know, earlier we're talking about like the Toronto scene and the Ottawa scene. Like Toronto's like very violent and gang shit.
Yeah.
You know, like I find a lot more of Ottawa artists that are like more conscious, like conscious.
That's
rap.
it. Like he said, it's like
Right.
heart, man.
Yeah, dude.
They're doing it
it's
for
'cause
the.
It's when you start listening to like my boy Raz, man. Like Raz, boy. Like, fuck, man. Shout out to Raz.
I
man.
think earlier you mentioned him, and whenever you said it, I'm like, where do I know this name from? But I think I only know just because of
Well,
you.
it's because I asked
released
like if he
Sunshine.
yeah well we
Oh,
did release
that's
Sunshine,
right. Oh,
and I
that's
asked him
right.
if he
That's
could
how I
pop
know.
in tonight.
Yeah,
but dude,
well,
no,
see,
like-
before, so just real quick on that note is before, so like at some point, Twigs told us that there's only a certain amount of people out in the actual like studio in this part.
Absolutely.
But then he was saying that he wanted us like spaced apart and shit like that. So then I asked him one time if somebody could bring a buddy, and he's like, yeah, it's cool if they want to chill in the other room.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. So then point is, that's why I brought it up, because I'm like, oh shit, like we're already pushing it with this. So like, you know,
but dude, Raz.
Sorry,
like,
anyways, yeah.
Raz either like he's gonna hit you guys up, or you guys
we'll
hit him
do
up.
that.
He is definitely like he's someone you want on your show.
Yeah.
Him and DL are the two artists to date, and like there's still a lot that I.
Who'd you
spoke
say
to.
earlier?
What?
Someone? What do you guys mention?
There's
Someone
three
earlier.
that
Halls.
he fucks with. Halls.
Halls.
Well, yeah, and Halls too. Yeah.
Behind the scenes, Kin has made a way for me.
Well, we'll hit them both.
I
We'll hit them both up and
sound.
get them on, or not get them on, but we'll get like not together. I mean, but
dude,
we'll,
But Raz and DL to be and Halls too. Like I see so much potential in those guys, man. Like
together or like just
like in
as a
each
list?
in their individual
Yeah,
lane.
yeah.
Like Raz is more like boom bap 90s, like lane conscious.
I like
shit.
that, man. I'm so
Dude,
boom bap. I was
he-
just listening to Bobby Digital today. RZA has Bobby Digital. Sorry, I only say that because producer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know RZA, but
Yeah.
just because I have a funny story, real quick. I'll sum it up real quick. Is it was either yesterday afternoon or the day before afternoon. I was taking a shower and I was thinking of Bobby Digital. Bobby, digi.
Yeah,
I like the
yeah.
B, the O, the B, the B, and I'm like, oh man, like I'm so sick of my own music, man. Like I have a list on my shit. I got like 200 songs and shit. But like over the week, I'll download a bunch of songs, right? So like the next week will be like this 10 songs,
Yeah.
right? And then whatever plays after that is stuff that I like, right? But point is like I'll go through this list like, man, I don't like any of this shit, right? So I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't want to put any of this shit on. So the other day I was like, I heard that in my head. I'm like, man, I should be listening to more like old school rap and shit, right? So last night I'm at my buddy's house and he listens to like a lot of metal and shit like
Yeah.
that. And he's like, yo, so we're listening to metal and stuff. And he's like, yo, man, he's like, I got something you're gonna like, man. I'm like, I don't think so. But he's a bit older, right? So like he's like 38 or some shit.
Okay.
So he's a bit older. And so like he knows, right? Like he was like me and him kind of grew up in the same era. I'm a little younger than him, but we grew up in the same era and we know all the same shit. Like it was like in Renfrew where I'm from, it's like there was like the skater.
Yeah.
Right, there was
skater gang,
which
yeah.
when
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
like the skater, when you were the skater, you weren't a punk rocker and you weren't a fucking like rapper or like a hip hop dude. You were like right in the middle. You followed it
Yeah.
all or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So point is this guy knows this shit, right? So he's like, I got a song for you. I'm like, you don't have a song for me. And he puts the song on, the B, the O, the B, the P. I'm like, yo, I'm like, what the fuck did you just put on? I'm like, dude, I'm like, it was yesterday or this afternoon that I thought I should be listening to more old school rap like Bobby Digital and shit.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
he puts it on. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But point is that's me. Like I was like way like old school, like especially Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang
Oh, yeah,
was like my
Wu-Tang, yeah.
shit all
Dude,
day,
yeah, man.
man. All fucking day.
I'm like, no, I like Nas. And
Nas 100%, but Nas is like in my mind. It's hard to say. Not like so he's good. And I'm not saying he's not good. It's just that
Categorize
Nas
your
is like
greats and your
Nas is like
likes.
a Tupac. It's like everyone knows and has
Conscious
heard and
rap.
understands that.
Conscious
Oh
rap.
yeah, but it's
That's
like
Nas,
with
man.
especially with the Wu-Tang shit though, is like it's like a lot of people kind of overlook it or like whatever, or like not even like just Wu-Tang, like say like CNN, like Conan Noriega and shit,
Yeah.
kind of overlook it or whatever because like again too with the wait, who'd you mention?
Yeah.
Nas. So like
Yes,
Nas.
Nas, sorry.
So yeah, so Nas is like super lyrical, very smart dude. He's got a lot of like visions. He's got a lot of like he's depth to his shit, right? So there's like Nas, like yes, of course there's
Yeah.
fucking Nas, right? But then when a lot of people look at like Wu-Tang or some shit or like I said like CNN or like the list goes on, right? You look at some of these people and people are like wow, they're like no Nas or some shit. I'm
Yeah,
like, well,
yeah.
I never said they're Nas, but like I like fucking Wu-Tang or like whatever, right? They got their own things or whatever. It's like proton neutron. The salad with the crouton, like just I don't know. Anyways, fucking. But my point is that okay? So like maybe like Wu-Tang and shit like that isn't like quite as lyrical and smart and in depth as Nas type shit. But Wu-Tang always held fucking very strong with me because they like again, they might not have the fucking lyrics or the smartness or like whatever. They do, but some of it might not be full content.
Yeah.
acquire
But it's just
or
their
like.
vibe to their sound, the way that Wu-Tang
Well,
sounds.
and,
right?
and
Like-
they always it's the fucking the clan, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like
Yeah,
they just
yeah,
had
man.
this vibe, and it was just the thing, right?
Yeah.
And I just think that, man, honestly, like that for me, like when people are like, oh yeah, I know, I listen to old school rap and shit, and like I'm not saying that Wu-Tang is the only old school rap or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when people are like, oh yeah, I listen to old school rap, right away I'm like, Wu-Tang and shit, you know, and I'm just like, El Producto, pass that you puff too slow. That's what's up, yo, the kid with the buck tooth flow. Oh, this meth man so pot, throw the left hand to the hardcore shit that even make the tech jam, you know, and it's just like, or like, what do you do with the like oh dirty bastard and shit? It's like the dynamic there is like so crazy.
him, man.
But so my point is like, I guess what I'm trying to say
Album
is
from
that
jail.
when I look back on like old school rap and shit, I'm like, okay, there's the Nas's and shit, right? There's the Nas with the lyrical shit and the fucking like Nas looking out the window and shit, and like, you know what I mean? There's that type of shit, but then there's the like the Wu-Tang shit that like still like meets the same criteria or the same category as this
You get the
Nas
same
shit.
out of it.
But you would look at Wu-Tang and go, well, they're not really talking about the same shit or whatever, you know, but they still fit in that same category, whether it's as intelligent or not, they still fit in that same area. But I don't even know why I brought that. Oh, just because I've been like thinking about old school rap and shit, and
Yeah,
that's one of
no,
my
but-
things
but-
is the Wu-Tang shit, man.
But Raz definitely is not a guy anybody should speak on. Like he is very underdog. Like he's been rapping for like what 9 years, I think he
Oh,
told
for
me.
real?
Yo, he's been rapping for a long time. He makes his own beats too. He's a beat maker as well. He doesn't like really make like engineer his own vocals. Like I do that for him for now.
So he makes
But
the beats.
He makes his
and
own
you
beats. Like
engineer and master shit?
yeah, like and sometimes I help him do beats and he helps me do beats, man. You know,
You
like
should tell him his beats suck, and then he should use your beats.
well, no.
That's not my opinion. You should just
Raz,
tell him that.
Raz,
It's a push of motivation as opposed to just like.
Raz,
No,
it's not true what they say about you, Raz. Okay?
No,
Don't
I
worry.
didn't even know. I'm not even saying it.
It is true.
I'm just saying that you should convince him of that so that he buys your beats.
No,
To back
but-
up what you were saying, I was gonna
Sorry,
say,
go ahead.
To back up what you were saying, some artists like I didn't know that. I knew he was a producer. I didn't find out until after. So when he shines more of an artist.
Okay,
As an artist.
Yeah.
So like he does need a Kid Norton on the beat. You know what I mean? Why? Because he's a good producer. I'm sure he has got good intellect, but because he shines as an artist and people like KOTB are gonna put his voice in the sound.
You gotta hit the button, bro.
Then why
You got it.
why sit and stress about making beats and the whole 9 yards when somebody can take care of you and you can blossom?
No, that's true.
That's
Especially,
it.
yeah. Why stress yourself out the fucking entire time?
I'm
You
not
know.
saying
Yeah.
he's not a good producer. I'm saying Kid Norton's better.
No, but but Raz, dude, like
I'm
lot
just
of
saying he's
dude.
sick. I like Sunshine on the way here. Like if you look up Raz,
Yeah, sunset.
Okay,
yeah,
let's do it.
yeah,
like
dude.
the breath of fresh air,
Dude.
Like, even
Yeah.
when the sun's not out. Like I was like, yo, this is.
We have 11
good.
songs. I have 11 songs that I
You and Raz?
recorded. Yeah, that I
Oh,
well
for-
not together, but that
started
either I did the
songs.
beat
Like
or
you
I
worked
mixed his
on,
vocals
yeah,
that
yeah.
I worked on.
Yeah.
We got 12 songs.
Shit, man.
Okay, man,
His
and
daughter's got 3, but
and
It's like
there-
an album.
and there's two
Like a
of those
full
songs that I collab with him that I rap on it
just touch me?
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
I'm
You're
totally.
gonna-
He
Yeah,
knew.
we're gonna
He
keep
knew I was
your
fucking
way.
with him.
So yeah, no man. So dude, very talented guy, and 12 track on the line right now. He just started releasing shit.
Okay.
Like he just started.
Jonesy, can you do me a favor? I see you reaching your phone now. Can you send me that or find? Was it Raz?
Yeah, his name on Spotify is Razinator, like Raz,
Resonator.
2Z 2 N's.
Okay.
So RAZZN, Razo ONN. No.
Raz-
Holy fuck, I can't spell, man. It's getting late.
well,
Razonator,
okay.
2 N's AT.
It doesn't matter either way. I'll hit you up and ask
Yeah,
you
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
thinking if we could take care of it now, that'd be sick. But no, I'll hit you up whenever I hit you up with the secret. I'll tell you to Google or
Absolutely.
Netflix the secret.
Yeah.
Then you tell me about Raz. Oh no, wait. Oh no, I follow not Raz Halls.
Yeah,
I'm all over the place. But,
But
no, I was
dude-
gonna say I do follow him. But point is I want to get in contact with these people. I want to hear them and fucking
Yeah.
bring them on and shit.
Very, very lyrical person, Raz. Like
Maybe we'll have a fucking
there's a mess. Like you understand what the fuck he's saying in his tracks.
yeah.
You know, it's not. It's like you know, like you
Can you say that again?
understand like his articulation,
Yeah.
his lyrics, everything is on point.
Well, and man, the one thing I will say is like, okay, so as much as articulation and like being like loud and prominent and stuff like that is important, sometimes either way, my whole point.
You said the right word.
No, I know.
Sometimes.
Well, no, but either way, my point is that I agree with you. It like that's important, but sometimes it's
You need to follow the
it's
trend too.
well exactly
that's the thing I've been
Sometimes
trying to
it's a trend
get it-
where it's like
I
okay
get it.
I didn't fucking hear what you said.
What's
I didn't hear what you said,
bottom lines,
but
but
your beat has 3 sounds in it. I didn't hear what you said,
Yeah.
but the voice you made went with the other 3 sounds in the beat. Boom, we're on the same level. Love it.
Yeah.
So like I said, sometimes
actually trying.
sometimes you don't need that, but at the same time, I want to hear what you're saying. I want to hear like
That's
you
right,
know.
that's right.
So the articulation and
I
the
want you to
like.
feel uncomfortable. Like I want to. You know what I mean? Like I.
No, I
want,
feel you though.
You know,
It's,
like same with Bully Zone. You know what I mean? He has a lot of tracks that he puts out a track like No More.
yeah.
Like
Yep.
what? Now I'm out. Now you got a 200 and some pound guy out of his fucking comfort zone. Like it's effective.
true.
100%
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
So that's why, like Raz, I'm trying to push him to do
That's my
a little
favorite
more
track,
modern
by the way.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
he hates auto tune, but I fucking
Yeah.
I use it
It's
so
all-
it's
I
how
use
you
it
use
correctly that he barely notices.
Like T-Pain?
He's like, "Do you use fucking auto tune on there?" I'm like, "No." Then he looks at me. He's like, "Yeah, I did." Then he looks at dude like literally just minimal auto tune, but it's like, "Fuck, it sounds good." I'm like, "I know," but he hates auto tune. Like he despises auto tune. But every time
But
he
you
hears
sneak it in there.
but yeah, but every time he hears the final product, he's like, "Yo, like you did a good job, like
Nice.
on the
I hate
beat,
auto-tune
like
too,
fuck,
but
thanks,
every
man."
time
Like,
Ken uses a certain level of like the fucking the package and the kit, and then he uses like Diablo Light and shit, and run some of these plugs against it.
Ah.
It's never,
I
it's
got good
never,
plugins.
it's never like a fucking. It's never like a fucking auto tune. It's like a souped up version of like a.
What'd you
better
call
sound.
it? Paradigm.
paradigm.
Paradigm? He's saying auto tune. He said not auto tune. I said paradigm.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
We're talking
Nah.
about auto tune, and then
It's because the auto tune you
But
can
is
use
the
it.
paradigm like another type of auto tune thing?
I don't think so. It's a pitch corrector talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, okay.
So the auto tune I use all the Antares package. Like, I can make it auto tune like T-Pain, or literally just have a pitch corrector.
and
like
T-Pain
it
says
ju-
he went to fucking school for fucking auto tune. And the guy says
Dude,
he,
there's fucking 3 knobs.
and he said
We went
but
to
like,
school for 3 knobs.
But like he said that he said that
Shit, what a
like
waste of
well,
cash.
well going
Back when he
went
was-
to
he was, like,
school.
one of the
No,
first
but-
to
But like
really,
went
Probably
to
when it-
went to
when it
school,
started, yeah,
but like
yeah,
went
yeah.
to school
Yeah,
was
yeah.
probably his like way of saying it.
Maybe.
But like what I assume he was trying to say was that like he doesn't do it the same way. Like people just turn on auto tune.
No,
like,
no, yeah.
there it's on. He like knows how to manipulate it
Yeah,
and make it
there's a
sound
ninja-
right.
Dude,
difference
auto
between
ba-
using auto tune because like I use like wave like the synth.
Yeah, the wave one.
vocal
Yeah,
synth.
yeah.
So like instead of just like dialing up the fucking auto tune knob to full and it just sounds like all robot-y and
Yeah.
crazy, I've got like it's so like with my keyboard,
Yeah.
you can play the note that you want the vocal to hit.
Oh, yeah.
So like if you know
Or stretch and time it out to hit the
Right.
kick or hit the snap or.
yeah, but it's just like so like let's say if you're you really want to hit that A or B or C or D E F
Yeah,
G whatever
yeah.
note, you can hold that chord or that single note and it will just pitch that like directly to
But isn't that
note.
the same as
Oh, yeah.
auto tune?
It is, but
Or auto-tune-
Auto-tune
it
is
is
like a more-
auto tune
more
essentially.
Like,
so you
but-
have a lot more control
You're
over what
doing
it's doing
it.
instead
Yeah,
of just
it-
cranking the
yeah.
knob up to like
And
100
and
saying
it
okay,
so like
auto-tune.
auto tune,
And it just-
but like
and it-
auto tune goes ahead and does it. But what you're saying is
preset
like
it.
you're putting it in place.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, okay, okay,
Auto tune
okay.
can't like because like unless you're like a perfect singer and you're hitting that note anyways, right? Like let's say if you're a singer and you're hitting
Yeah.
this note, but like you have a little bit that goes
Yeah.
flat or like pitchy or whatever.
Yep.
You're still in the
This
note.
levels it out and just
So it just perfects it, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah.
Like, so, but
Well,
if
'cause
you're
I
a
remember you
rapper
said that
or a singer,
before,
Most
too.
of them don't have, great singing voices. No
That's it.
disrespect, but like
Who said that?
they're
I
all
said that
over the
about
place,
myself.
right? So like the auto tune has no fucking idea what
Yeah.
note to try
That's
and
it.
pin it
Well,
to.
yeah.
and it
goes
sounds
to the
crazy.
And I
I was
experienced
just
with that too.
explaining
Like,
this last night. Sorry, I was just
No, no, it's all
explaining this
good.
to my brother last night. Is because so my brother's buddy is like very like fucking. He's had a home studio and shit for like years and years and years and years. Like he wrote music for like my family and shit. Like he has a song. I got him. I tried to get him to send it to me so I could show you guys. But he has a song for our family and shit from way back in the day and shit.
Respect.
So this guy's been doing it for a long time. Whatever. Like he's no like he didn't go to school for it or anything. But he knows all this shit. But anyway, so we were talking about it last night. And we were talking about the auto-tune shit because I was talking about how I have these songs that I kind of fucking like I can't sing but I want to match them up, right? And so he was talking about that shit, and so I was telling him how you were saying like if I'm not close enough it sounds robotic-y
Right.
and shit like that, and like he was like trying to suggest ideas or like trying to like fix the problem, but I was like, but it's the thing is like I can't sing, so like so it's gonna sound robotic no matter what because you're trying to force it into that
Yo, you
moment
gotta-
or whatever,
you
right?
gotta-
Or that sound.
We've got to try a little to kind of wave it and for it.
Oh, for sure.
For it to preset to
But you
lock
know what,
into
man?
the-
Okay, but like here's the thing: is like I saw a thing the other day where fucking Travis Scott was doing his song "Goosebumps" or some shit.
Yep.
And the fucking kid comes on the stage and he puts the fucking mic up to the kid and the kid sings the shit. And when the kid sings the shit, it fucking came out perfect, right?
yeah.
And like it's so I get like okay, yeah, like auto.
I know how to do that on auto tune, the Travis Scott shit.
So like, well, there's like the auto tune. So like, auto tune will like
Yeah.
automatically tune it. But my thing is what I'm saying is, whenever I heard it and whenever I see it and shit. Okay, wait. Let me stay on my train of thought.
Weed.
Oh, nice.
Jesus
Here.
fuck, smells good, man.
DVD waits for a reason.
But so okay, wait. What was it saying again? Oh man, I lost it. It's over.
That's for him.
That's
Oh, that's for me. Oh, okay, shit. Nice man, I like that. How was it saying
I
though?
forgot what you were talking about
forgot
too, man.
too, yeah.
This weed got me all distracted.
The auto tune and the
Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah. So I was saying to Buddy that with the auto tune, if you're far enough, if you're too far off, it won't fucking match you with the thing, or it'll sound robotic-y or whatever. Oh, now I still lost my train of thought. But either way,
It depends on the retune speed. Like if you have it like super low, like if you go, it's gonna like it's gonna jump like.
oh,
from
the
note
Travis
to note.
Scott thing. Sorry,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
So the Travis Scott thing. So Buddy fucking put the microphone up to the kid, and the kid sings his shit, and it fucking.
Sounds perfect.
It wasn't super robotic-y, like it fit the shit. And so like what I'm thinking is like, okay, like whether this is possible or not. But what I was thinking is like, I'm like, I wonder if they have a thing that like, you ever had one of those things where like it's like a kid's toy or some shit and there's like one button on it.
Yeah.
But when you hit the button, it's like doot. And then you hit the button, it's like doot. And you hit the button, it's like doot. But then if you hit it, it's like jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. You know what I mean? Like, but if you hit it right, so every time you hit it, it knows the next note, right? But you just have to hit it on the time, right?
Yeah.
So my point is that I'm like, I wonder if they have a fucking thing that goes, okay, the next note is this, the next note's this, the next note's this.
You can
So
do
as
that,
long as you
exactly
hit
that
those
thing.
Yeah.
things,
Like,
it's gonna do it automatically though.
right.
That's
So
what I mean. Is like,
basically,
so
yeah,
the next
with
note is
using
already
MIDI
planned.
Using MIDI, you could play like a MIDI sequence of, let's say you know relatively what notes you want to hit, right? I could play in a keyboard that has no sound attached to that MIDI information, right? Because that's all MIDI is just
Yeah.
note information,
Yeah.
right? So I could like play a sequence of chords or notes or whatever and have that sequence plugged into my
But my
timeline.
voice would activate it.
Exactly. So when you sing on that, those notes would activate your voice.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
so
like,
that's
this is
so
how
that's
they
what I
do
was
live-
saying, but I didn't know if it was real or not.
Yeah.
So that's
basically
okay.
you
Yeah.
can pre-play.
Your
So then
vocal
every time I
notes.
go
that thing. And just sing whatever.
it'll fucking.
those notes when it plays across will.
See, okay,
automatically-
that's what I was
Yeah,
saying. Was
that's
like, yeah,
cool.
like I
Yeah,
said,
some
you
of
get
the
the
garbage
you get the
part,
kid's toy with the one button on it. It goes do 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 do, and you don't really hear the noise unless you go jingle bells jingle, and you have to know the song, right? So if you tap it at the right time, so that's what I was thinking was like, okay, if I just went it's
And that
like
would put it
do
to the
do
right.
do. So it does. You can do that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So that's what I was saying. I was like, okay, I'm like, I don't know if it's real, but I'm like, if you could do this, so maybe that's what he does, because like I said, he holds the fucking thing up to the kid's microphone, or the microphone up to the kid's face. But my point is that if this kid can't fucking sing and he's far off of the notes, it's gonna sound robotic-y, right?
Yeah.
But it
Not
didn't
if
really
it's plugged
sound
in
like that. So then, yeah. So
advanced.
I was like, imagine they
Or
have
he's
this
done
thing.
some
You're like,
post-production and
it's
made
a
it sound
thing.
like it's on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say it was on stage, but
Well,
that's what you were.
I was gonna say live, like so that's a way they can do it.
You can do it.
live performance, right?
Yeah.
So they've got like a fucking DAW set up somewhere where they're.
Yeah, they have a
plugged in.
like for live performance. They have apparently, I don't know, I never seen it with my own eyes, but apparently, somebody in the comment fucking correct me if I'm wrong, but for how they have like analog compressors in studios
Yeah.
sometimes, they have analog auto tune
Yeah. for
things.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
like when it's live, like it's just better quality because it's
Right.
True,
analog,
true.
right? So they actually have something like that for live performances. It's not just Well, yeah, it could be programmed like you're saying, Ben, but like maybe it would be that too. It's just a better auto tune, that better quality,
lot of rappers
fine
actually
tune. I don't know,
just-
like, but there is such a thing apparently.
For live shows,
So-
like, one thing I realized too, you can use just as that when you're doing your live shows, you can actually put your preset in and do your show through the computer.
Well, that's
tuned
what
to
we're
the-
talking about. Is you
Okay.
put your
Like,
so it's
instead of
already
like-
all planned.
Yeah.
Every time you go,
Instead of like the
it goes.
preset of the track just being there and you're rapping over the track, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But like when I first started, that's not how we were supposed to do it, and then this time it's gotten
Well,
easier.
you
With the
can, no,
preset
you
in
do
there
it-
for the live performance with nothing on the audio though.
But-
the instrumental is playing, but you have your preset on. That's when you go.
But you do you still have backups on your verses, but then you have like full on like courses.
Yeah.
So then like you get your break on the course,
Your ad-lib, please.
or like
presets.
but yeah. So like you have your fucking. So I mean, this has nothing to do with the fucking auto tune thing, but
But still,
in
for
the sense
strategy
of like.
to put out a better performance or
Yeah,
what would
yeah.
sound better.
Well, because we went through that too,
you're
where
a
we're like,
smooth
okay,
rapper
let's
like
cut out
DVD, you
all
could
the
probably do
lyrics.
that. If you're
Let's
a
cut out
rap
all the
like me.
lyrics, and we'll play the beat and then rap over it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but there's certain points where whatever, I'm like, I come out of
Or
the,
you're out of
I-
breath, or-
Yeah, I finish the verse
Yeah.
completely out of breath, so I can't jump into the chorus.
Right.
So okay, let's leave the chorus in there like lightly
Or hype
whatever,
it- or
or
hype
like,
it up.
and then yeah, exactly. Usually by the time I'm out of
Somebody
breath,
gets into the
fucking one of
lyrics.
these guys is jumping in or like whatever, and it fills that point. But yeah, exactly.
Yo,
You're kind of
here's
like going
the real
across.
question: is 4G ever like? I don't know if you rap.
We all rap
bit,
a little bit, yeah.
I was like gonna say like a 4G audio mixtape.
So actually, okay, wait. So
Like,
Bully Zone said the other day.
Produced
so
by Ken on the Beat.
We had yeah. Wait,
Mastered by
so
Twigs.
we had we had talked recently, or like not super recently, but at some point in the last little while, we had talked about like we should try and like maybe like revisit making some music. Cause man, we were making music and then we just
100%.
we
You
just
have
stopped.
the social
We just
media
stopped
outlet
to
to
like
do
do
it.
this, right? But so then
You
like
don't have to be a certain
so
character to put it on.
well, we were like, okay, yeah, like fucking, let's try and like put out some new kind of song, or like
All
let's
about
do
weed,
something, right?
all about
But
weed.
man, no, the other day though, actually, I think it was Bully Zone, but the other day someone said to me, they're like, man, they're like, you guys should put out a song together or whatever,
100%.
and then like use that as like more promotion for like the show and shit, right? And I was like, man, I'm like, we've been talking about it and shit. I'm like, we
Like a
should do it.
fucking 4G anthem, man. Like,
Man, well,
you
see,
know?
but here's the thing: is right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do like
weed though.
Yeah.
we have like a.
Even
What was the other
mushroom
thing we have? We got the gold bars coming in the fall, and like coming soon, we got a fucking little challenge going on, I believe, or we might actually just maybe if it ends up running later, we might just run it with our gold bars and just give out a bigger prize. But
Yeah.
one of our homies is a DJ and producer, and he's gonna offer up a fairly decent prize and the beats and shit, and then we put out the beats and then people spit over them. I mean, I might be giving away too much information right away, but we have been talking about it. It's we're trying to. I actually was gonna hit him up today and I forgot, but we're trying to get that done. But so point is like so we do plan on doing like our own shit and trying to get some more music out and shit.
I'm definitely looking
But
because I know he can rap.
we are trying to so he's
I
got
heard
bars.
you're more vulnerable, like young, like you know what I mean. So I would love to see like even just a 4G audio anthem and definitely some sort of sesh song. Something get that, you know, you can call it Philly. I don't know what you want to call it, but you just call it something to do with some.
Something you play for your daily joint.
Man, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Is like even like
something you play in the first 5 minutes or the first 2-3 minutes, just get the people on and
True
you got
that,
the fucking
man.
stoner anthem playing.
True that.
and-
Well, even
there you
Yardy's-
go. Welcome to the
Yardy's
Daily
got that.
Joy with Styles the Prophet. You know what I mean?
Yardy's got that tune.
man.
This the weed that make you cough. This the weed that make you cough. You know, like something like that, though. You know, like
Yeah, man,
I mean,
something
not
catchy.
like that, but like exactly, like catchy like that. So then, exactly, that'd be like
And then
a
we're
fucking
gonna,
theme song.
Next year, we're gonna want like a pretend anthem. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I like the way you leak with all your gravy.
Yeah, this the Putin that make you cough.
bitch is leaking.
Oh shit! Any
Full of gravy.
motherfucking way, my G's, my boys, what's going down? So we had the fucking freestyle, gang, baby. Yeah, that's what's up. Dirty Laundry's probably already done the fucking lightning round. I think so.
Think
Have
so,
ya?
Yeah.
Have you?
The freestyles.
No, we do like a lightning round, questions and shit. Quick questions.
We did it.
Either way, we could do a fucking double one. But so we're gonna ask you some questions.
Sure, man. Go. Fire away.
If you haven't answered the questions, then answer them too. But Visho is gonna hit you with fucking couple questions here, and each question's worth double the points and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Point system
I was
to
gonna
that?
say I always say that there's no winning or anything.
Oh,
It's just
shit.
it's just like
Okay, I thought we were gonna get like a pretend. So
we've had this Putin waiting here the whole time.
you can do make your own poutine and label it. Make your own.
Yo, wait. Actually, you know what though? Okay, so wait.
Uh-oh.
Okay, wait.
Go to a
Listen to this.
Eyeball.
There's the Nelk boys.
The profit poutine.
There's the Nelk boys. The Nelk boys. They're from Toronto and shit. But they like they're big and they're like so fucking big. Like they're in like LA and shit now. And like they I put it this way, man. They'll have like fucking like 375,000 people on their Instagram or on their Facebook page or not Facebook. What's it called? Website. The day that their fucking like merch drops. Man, it'll be sold out by the time it's midnight, man. It's like 8:30. It comes on. It's midnight. It's out. So these guys are famous, right? So these guys, they had this fucking chef, man. He's like this French dude from, well, France. But this French dude.
No, correct.
And he was their chef and shit. So he was on like some of the episodes and shit. So I was in touch with him. I was like, yo, you want to come on the podcast and shit? Blah, 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 whatever. He goes, yo, he's like, I was talking to like MTV Pat, which is one of the guy's dads, like Jesse's dad or whatever, and one of the guys from Nelk Boys, right? So he's like, oh, I was talking to MTV Pat, and I said I was going to come to Ontario and visit him and shit, right? I was like, dude, do that, and then we can like have some kind of like, we'll do our podcast and shit.
Yeah.
He goes, what if we did like a weed dinner or something? I was like, bro, I'm like, let's do it. So
Damn.
I hit up, we have a buddy who's a lawyer. I hit up him. I'm like, dude, give us all the information we need. How can we do this? He's like, man, it's easy, whatever. So he gives me all the information. I'm like, dude, let's do it. So I hit up the guy and I'm like, man, we can do it. So right now we're just trying to plan with the like COVID shit. But my point is maybe we should do a fucking medicated poutine.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
But he wants to.
cheese curds.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. He
that's
wants
it.
he wants to show up,
Gravy.
but he wants to show up. He wants to show up and do a dinner.
So we just go directly for the cheese curds.
But he wants to show up and do a dinner. He wants to show up and do a dinner here. And like he said, sometime in the fall he's busy. He's got a bunch of shit that he's working on. But he said he wants to. He's like, yeah, man, I'll come and do this with you guys. And he, like I said, he's a chef and shit. So all I have to do is be like, here's the fucking THC and like here's the place to do it.
Make
but
it happen.
But the thing is, like I said, I talked to Gord and he gave me a bunch of like legal advice on it, and it's super easy, super simple. The other thing is yeah, exactly, yeah. He's like, yeah, I can get you 45 days in jail, weekend. But no, that's what he said. No,
Fuck.
but no, what he said
Almost
was
a
that
year.
it's actually not far. Like it's not a fucking big deal, and it's you can get people to just sponsor you, right? So like Oasis, Green Grass Oasis, they could give us all the fucking THC to eat, right? So we give him that, he cooks it in the shit. We get some other sponsor that'll pay for the Airbnb for us to chill out on.
Your favorite
Fucking
spot qualified and only approved by you.
Oh,
The major.
but
that
wait.
produces the actual.
but here's a twist. So far, our best poutine that we've rated so far, and I
It's not
underrated it.
Kung Fu or-
No, is no, but it's a homie of mine that is also like a pretty big cannabis supporter. So at the same time, I could get him to fucking maybe sponsor it with the food, and then be like, "Hey man, it's a weed dinner." He'd be like, "Holy shit, take all the food."
But I'll tell you something right now. You make cheese curds with weed in it. You're not gonna have the same. I'm gonna buy it all. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna buy it all. Like right there. Be like, yo.
Yo, you ever had
Selling
deep
out
fried?
today.
You ever had deep fried cheese curds?
Cheese
You had the
curds
deep fried
with-
shits?
Your cheese curds with Doritos would be amazing. Like I eat
is
them.
it gonna
I
be
eat them.
called
I eat them pieces of cheese
weed
with cheese.
curds?
Weed
Weed
curds, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Those are not cheese curds, they're weed curds.
You can't do that to us. Like,
Don't fuck with us.
that
Dude.
alpha sentence.
Like you give that to a motherfucker and then you tell him
Not to a
after
mother,
that there's
though.
weed in it.
Yeah.
Just fucking like, yo,
Not
it's so
a
good.
mother or a
pending.
conceiving mother, just a guy that fucks a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Now we need a t-shirt. Weed curds.
Weed curds,
Yo,
yeah,
bro,
man.
I
Brand
fucking
that
swear to
shit.
God. I got 2 weed cooks in our team, man, that actually make edibles like crazy. We made mushroom edibles and everything the last
No.
2 or 3 weeks. Bro, you see my stories the last 2 weeks? You always know his laundry's on some shit. Whenever you see these little tiny speck mushrooms, they'll be like mushroom all over the fucking. You just gotta fucking look for them. But anyways.
Look for them.
Success on the mushroom edibles and the, like the people we have that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit behind the scenes. Even Brucey B, shout out Brucey B's. The guy put me up for like to promote for him, and he like I've eaten like bought like I've showed up, got $400 J's, a safe, edibles galore, a pound of weed butter, and a bunch of ounces of weed and whatever, and just to fucking put up a video. Like, I don't pay for my edibles. I literally just am putting up one every 2 months or once a month. The guy gives me everything free. So I'm mad love to that. And yo, where the fuck are the weed pretends?
It's coming, man. Yo, shout out fucking Chef TJ. Shout out Chef TJ. Shout out Nelk Boy. Shout out fucking Shop Full Zen. But at the same time, shout out fucking Chef TJ. We gotta get you to make these weed curds, this fucking weed gravy. This fucking
weed gravy.
man.
Deep
Yo,
fry-
you know what the big
Fry
thing
the
is?
fries in
Yo,
fucking
that's what I was
cannabis
gonna
oil.
say. That's what I was gonna say. Is the big thing is the fucking oil, because the THC sticks to the fat, right? So the THC stays in fat. So if you have like a
Like a big roast.
say you made like a burger, you made a burger and put like weed butter on it, but say the burger was like a really fatty burger or some shit, it would hold on to the THC more, right? So the point is that
rib then and an ounce and a kilo of weed.
well, but then if you put it in the fucking like gravy, or not the gravy, sorry, if you put it in the grease, like you're saying,
Yeah.
put it in the grease to fry the fucking shits, you get the fucking.
Well, you're gonna evaporate the THC too, eh? Like,
Oh, it's too hot. That's right.
yeah, it's
That's
gonna
too
evaporate all
hot.
the THC.
But maybe,
so-
oh yeah.
You may get
true.
the
Oh,
taste.
you probably just
You may
gotta do
get
the
the
gravy.
taste.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause
Gravy
it would
and
be
curds,
too
fuck
hot.
it.
It'd be
'Cause-
too hot.
Yeah, but
Well, I'm
dude,
gonna,
with curds
like-
it's gonna work because it's like lactose, right? So like milk,
Oh, and it sticks
butter,
like
milk,
fat,
like
right?
it
Yeah,
sticks.
man.
So like curds
Okay.
are gonna work.
So here's one thing I have to say. I'm gonna commandeer this curds conversation.
Alright.
One thing I have to say is that I fucking gotta piss again.
Okay,
fuck.
And
Let's just round her up.
I'm
Yeah,
usually,
make it
I know, but I'm usually like a 0 to 1 pisses,
yeah,
like
right.
average.
On your whole
And
record.
this is
has been a 3-hour.
Yeah.
this is number 3.
so-
But so point is that I was trying to wrap it up and get back into the questions. We'll do the fucking lightning round. But now I don't think I have the patience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go have to take a piss. We'll
is-
start the lightning round. I'll go take a piss.
Well, we could just wrap it up. We've got enough content, I think.
Yeah.
We've
It's up
done
to you
good.
guys, man.
We got the rap
Questions that
segment.
You guys want to ask individually?
Yeah, like, could- like, if you guys-
want to know, let me know, and I'll answer the fuck.
Oh,
And if you
Oh, no,
guys
they're
really
just
want to
like-
ask the questions
No,
tonight, go
not
ahead,
What
man.
color my underwear is?
Let's
I'm
do
not
it.
wearing any
I don't
underwear.
care.
But I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Uh-oh.
Are you gonna piss first or?
I don't care. It's up to you guys. If you're asking the questions, I'm gonna piss. But if we're not, I'm gonna
let's just
fucking.
round it up.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, yeah. I feel
All right.
you
There you
gotta
go.
do that.
All right. We'll ask
Cool.
questions next time, I guess.
Yeah. There'll always be
one.
another time.
Oh, yeah,
Time,
definitely.
We've, we've ex-
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, if this one's
show
gone,
out,
if
keep
this one's
going.
gone this far, then that means there'll be another one
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
We're
we've been
booking
at it
in
for-
August.
since 8:30, so 8, 9, 10, 11. Fuck, it's 3
soon.
hours.
3 hours, yeah.
3
shit.
hours.
It's
All
been a
right.
long
It's been a
one.
good one.
Yeah.
Well-
Thanks for everyone that
Let's
tuned
just-
in.
I just
and-
wanna-
Yeah,
Fucking
for
right.
real.
just wanna,
Thanks, you
I
guys,
just wanna-
for showing
I just
up.
want to hold.
Cheers,
I
yeah.
just want to hold Styles up like 25 more seconds because I know he has to.
Yeah. I'm here trying to cheers him. And
Wants
he's-
to make him bust his
Any
bladder.
questions or anything at all?
Oh, look at that over there.
Right on. Well,
Can we wait until I tie my shoes?
so for anybody watching, I'm Ken on the beat. Thank you again for thank you again for tuning in to 4G Audio Podcast. It was a pleasure doing this with you guys. Thank you again for
Fucking
having
right.
me
No,
on,
thanks
guys.
for coming out, man.
like 3 fingers in the butthole pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, 2
Savage.
thumbs,
You
bud.
fucking savage. He's a savage, that guy. No spit.
But no, man, thanks for coming out. Seriously,
No problem,
thanks to
man.
both of you guys for coming out. We'll definitely do this again. Fucking the latest fucking Stay Platinum
That's right.
producer
That's
in the
right.
building.
Yes.
That's right, man. We're gonna fucking make history here, man. Ottawa, you're gonna be put on the map for good. Watch us go. Stay Platinum, baby.
Hey.
Fuck yeah, gang, baby. You already know what it is. We got fucking Dirty Laundry, aka DL over here. Yeah. And right here on my left, we got Kin on the beat.
That's right.
Let's
Yeah.
get it. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
And we're the Basement Weirdos, but this is the 4G Audio Podcast, and thanks for tuning in.
Hey.
Peace out, everybody.
Catch
Gang.
y'all in the next one.
Weakers.
This is a Nugget Weed.